92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Chevy sales desk, Marty.
Hey there, Melvin.
It's Marty.
You know Victory Lane?
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, Murray.
No, Marty.
Okay, Mario.
Marty!
Memorial Day is a great holiday to celebrate heroes and Chevys at Victory Lane.
I don't like parties, all right?
Well, Victory Lane's going all out with zero down on new Silverados, just $375 a month, or new Chevy Bolt, just $349 a month. Zero down.
No money down? Oh,
That's right, Margaret.
It's Marty. Why can't you remember my name?
Well, can you blame me? I'm trying to forget your ridiculously high prices. Save thousands during the Memorial Day sale at Victory Lane Chevrolet. Save with zero down on new Silverados, just $375 a month, or new Chevy Bolt, just $349 a month with zero down. Plus max for your trade and our goal 100% credit approval. Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Find new roads online at victorylanechevrolet.com. 39-month lease for current lessees, 10K month per year, all rebates to dealer. Taxes and fees extra, expires 5/31.
Few moments bring you joy like opening your inbox after you've done your taxes, clicking the subject line, and reading that one email you've been waiting for. So, what? Someone already filed my return? During tax season, your personal info, like your name or social security number, is all right there on your tax forms, possibly getting emailed and shared more than usual. And that could leave you exposed to identity thieves. Good thing LifeLock monitors your personal info, alerts you to possible suspicious activity, and if you become a victim of identity theft, a dedicated US-based specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock helps you keep what's yours. Join today and save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com with promo code NEWS. That's promo code NEWS for 25% off at LifeLock.com.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom, too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
It's like an all-out war. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
The question to be answered, will Israel go in on the ground to clear out this problem like they did in 2014?
If so, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham pledges his support for the Israelis who keep battling with Palestinians with death and destruction on both sides. Fox's Simon Owen has the latest live.
And Dave, Israel has launched more airstrikes this morning. Gaza's health ministry says 43 people have been killed in the raid since Monday. An apartment tower collapsed last night. In the other direction, Palestinian militants are still firing barrages of rockets toward Israel. 5 people are dead. The commercial capital of Tel Aviv was targeted yesterday evening. Qatar and Egypt are working on a possible ceasefire, but so far there's no sign either side is willing to back down. Dave?
Simon, President Biden could have discussed that today with the leaders of the House and Senate from both parties as they also try to work out differences on a massive infrastructure rebuild plan. But this is another issue. Some gas pumps are running dry in the Southeast. 16% of stations are empty in South Carolina, 1 in 10 in Georgia and Florida as prices rise after that Colonial Pipeline cyber attack. That pipeline supplies fuel from Texas to the East Coast.
The EPA issued emergency fuel waivers yesterday to help alleviate shortages in 12 states in the District of Columbia. Now, these waivers allow those states to sell off-spec gasoline, which means it could be either summer or winter grade vapor pressure through the end of this month to bolster fuel supplies.
Fox's Griff Jenkins, the Energy Secretary, says that pipeline could be back in operation by the end of the week, so there's no need to hoard. House Republicans may vote today to strip Congresswoman Liz Cheney of a leadership post as she remains critical of Trump election fraud claims.
Millions of Americans have been misled by the former president. They have heard only his words, but not the truth.
America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News, traffic.
Taking a look at the traffic cams, I-75 is packed right now. We are very busy heading southbound of Corkscrew to Bonita Beach Road. No surprise there. Slow down as well in Estero on Estero Parkway eastbound to Three Oaks. Unusually slower on Three Oaks heading north of Corkscrew, but Corkscrew looks great. Between the interstate and 82, average speed is at 53 miles per hour. Take advantage of that quick commute. It definitely will slow down later on this morning. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. Starting off warm and muggy once again, and that transitions to hot and humid. Temps in the upper 80s near the coast, low to mid 90s inland, but with a touch of additional humidity. Our feels-like temperatures will flirt with the lower 100s, so be sure to stay hydrated. Something else you will notice is areas of rain and thunderstorms starting near the coastline and I-75 early before generally trekking inland throughout the day. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
The button, a symbol of things made easier. Before buttons, things were much harder, like pull starting an outboard motor.
Come on, you. Come on, you. Come on. Okay, this time you're gonna start. Come on.
Or manually opening a garage door.
Oh no, my back.
Or even treating sleep apnea. If you've tried CPAP but struggle to get a good night's sleep, relief can be as easy as a button with Inspire.
Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit inspiresleep.com. That's inspiresleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Hi, this is Keith, the owner of Storm Shield Windows in North Fort Myers, and Storm Shield wants you to be prepared for the upcoming season. Global Weather Oscillations, an organization that predicts storms and hurricanes, has just been cited as the most accurate in storm forecasting by the media. Professor David Dilley, senior forecaster for Global Weather Oscillations, says that GWO's Climate Pulse technology model indicates that some regions of the United States have entered or will be entering the most dangerous hurricane landfall cycle in 70 years.
The experience with their product was great. We went through the storm. We didn't have to rush around and get plywood. We didn't have to put up shutters. It wasn't loud. It wasn't scary. There was no noise at all. We could see outside the whole time. We felt safe, and I just can't thank Storm Shield enough for the quality of their product and the peace of mind and security that it gave my family and me through the storm.
Enjoy the peace of mind, safety, and security that Storm Shield Hurricane Windows and Doors will add to your home. Call Storm Shield for a free in-home estimate today at 239-491-7000. 491-7002.
License number CGCA 60475.
Looking to hire? Indeed will help you speed up the process. They have 135 skill sets to help you find the right candidates faster. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
She's been shopping for months to make sure that when she walks, people are always looking at her feet. Italian, classic, modern, she had to find the perfect look. And when her friends come and visit, their gaze always goes down to admire her floors.
Get your floors noticed. GC Flooring Boutique for indoor and outdoor living. View GC Flooring's extensive stone, mosaic, vinyl, wood, and tile. Your Legno Bastogne Gallery on JNC Boulevard. GCFlooringofNaples.com.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at GoodDealsAppliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com. That is the website, Steele has 3 E's. We thank you for watching the program each and every day. You can go to Facebook as well for the time being at Drew Steele Radio. Yeah, we're still on YouTube. I know. But, there are a lot of people that still utilize it and want to be there. So at Drew Steele Radio at both places. And we're still working on stuff. We're still trying to get things changed around here. So if you're freaking out about that, don't do it. Just watch, and that helps as you're doing that to continue to keep us up and running. All right, we've got an emergency declared as we're hearing about mobs. They're torching synagogues and more in Israel, and some of these strikes that are happening. It is not a good situation right now. It's pretty awful what's happening as the Times of Israel is describing the escalating military action from both Hamas and the Israeli Defense Forces, and the amount of bombs that are raining down on Israel right now in areas near Tel Aviv. And I just want to get to some of that because there's a lead here, everybody. And it's part of the lead that we're gonna kind of string through for the rest of today, and it's this. The president's policies are dangerous. They're bad. They're bad for the country. They're bad for the world. Globally, there's a reason why this is happening right now. How is it possible that you can have all of these positive things, peace agreements, the economy, jobs reports, the unemployment numbers pre-COVID, and the anticipation of what could happen post-COVID with a former administration, the Trump administration, that you all cannot deny? I don't care where you stand on the left, and I don't care if you hate tweets and you hate Orange Man bad, all this kind of stuff. The numbers speak for themselves, and so does peace. And the lead running through everything that's going on right now is that all of this is happening because of this administration. The reason why, and more than a few people say this, and you don't have to be an expert in what's happening right now in the Middle East to understand that right now you have groups in Gaza, groups that are there in the Middle East, Hamas, emboldened right now by a Biden administration that apparently appears to be hostile towards Israel. And this pro-Palestinian tilt that the administration has is recognized. People see it. They know. So it's an opening. Large-scale rockets launched from areas controlled by Hamas and from Gaza into areas heavily populated. You've got some of the pictures are just hard to see when you have new Israeli babies in maternity wards taken from cribs, held in fortified hallways while rockets rain down on the hospital. You have 130 projectiles fired at the Tel Aviv area, injuring dozens of people. You've got the airport briefly shuttered, schools closed. And look, this is nothing new for the people that live there. But you can't deny that it was certainly what people felt like a new era on the way, with those that would like to see peace and those who don't want to, and those that would stand in the way. And the former administration seemed to have an idea and have it right and at least making some kind of progress. And now this administration comes along and here we go again. And worse than we've seen in a long time. And so where does it go? And I know when people see a situation like this, what's your first reaction when you hear about this specifically? When you hear about Netanyahu and the full force response that Israel will make and is doing as we speak, that terrorists will pay a heavy price. Iron Dome intercepting missiles over Tel Aviv, and the videos that you see in a population that is trusting that this technology is going to work. Imagine as some email to me if you're trying to put it in perspective, imagine if you had China or Russia or somebody who didn't want us to, who meant us harm, constantly talk the talk, and then raining down missiles all along the southwest Florida coast. Just imagine what that would be. Now, again, if you're looking at this as something that's far away and I've got my own problems and things happening here, again, don't miss the lead, which is that this administration is the reason why things like this are happening. It's the policies of this administration that you can't trust. It's the policies of this administration that are making things like this happen to the point where either you have to agree with all of this, like your hate for Israel is that deep that you think somehow that in some twisted, distorted, perverted way that this is okay, or you truly do want peace and you understand where it's coming from and who wants it and who doesn't, and what kind of policies were there before to help that and not. And again, elections have consequences. And it means something when there's global instability. Listen, check out your 401k. You worried about global instability? You should be. When you have global instability, that affects you in your pocketbook, in your wallet. If you want to go there, if that's what you really care about, then ultimately that's part of it. Instability at the gas pumps. And an administration that I said this to you. I said this to you yesterday. I'm not. Jake, am I one to pat myself on the back? Do I do this? Do you find me to be that person that is constantly patting himself on the back when he's right? Do I do that?
No, you're fairly humble. But when it's necessary, it's necessary.
You realize you have a play in this. If you would just pat me on the back off the air a little bit and just say, listen, you were right yesterday when you mentioned what I'm about to talk about now. I wouldn't.
Where are you wrong, though? Not that you're not wrong, but
yeah,
when have you been wrong?
You're not helping the situation. It's okay. I get it. I know. It's a weird, yeah.
I'm allowed to say that.
No, you are. I know. And it's a weird dynamic because here I am on the air trying to, because, self-praise, it stinks. You know how that goes. But anyway, I was right. I was right, Jake. Let's just be flat out honest. Let's just do this morning, okay? Let's just do it. Let's just be flat out honest. I might have been right about something. I said yesterday to you that a little late, but that's okay. What did I say? Excuse me. Hold on. Getting myself emotional. What did I say yesterday? I said to you that how do you trust an administration who's willing to shut down a Keystone pipeline to really give about what's happening with the Colonial Pipeline and what's happening with gas lines and surges and running out of fuel and panic buying and some of the things that are going to be affected by a fuel shortage that is happening because of this ransomware attack, and how I might take the opposite tact. I might say to you that there's probably people in the administration that love this, that are smiling, that think this is the greatest thing ever. And that it's another way to not let a crisis go to waste and go right to it. And maybe they won't say it, but you know that's what they're thinking. How dare you say that, Drew? That's an outrage. I can't believe that you would suggest that this administration would want to see people being hurt by their policies. No. They're Democrats. They love people. They're out to help you. Don't you understand it?
Breaking news. A bombshell.
Oh, this just in. No, they're not. They could give two about you. And here you go. Jennifer Granholm. What did I say to you? She's the energy secretary. And boy, was she glee-filled. You want to talk about a smile that could light up a room yesterday. White House press briefing. Jennifer Granholm. Man, I'll tell you what. She's got to work on her, oh gosh, I need to make my face look more like I care about the American people look. Somebody's got to, is there a coaching class for that, Jake? Maybe we should open up a coaching class like that. Like, make your face look more like you care about the AmericanPeople.org. What do you say? We can do that. Can you check and see if that domain is taken yet? Because maybe that's what we need to do. We should have classes to teach politicians how to look like they care. Or maybe you like that Jennifer Granholm walked up with a big smile on her face and it's like, hey, listen, if you fools would have just had electric vehicles, man, you wouldn't have this problem. Oh, I'm not kidding. That's exactly where she went. Listen to this.
Obviously, we have the acute issues with the Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack, but looking more holistically in a macro view, how does this speed up the efforts at DOE to move in more of a renewable direction, since this is going to have an impact on people at the pump?
Okay, wait a minute. Look at this from a holistic level, from a macro level. How is this going to speed up getting off of fossil fuels? Like you at the DOE, the speed is... First of all, the reporter, are you crazy? Are you really talking about that? We've got people who are looking for fuel right now, gasoline. There are long lines. We're hearing about pumps in certain areas of the Northeast and the East Coast of the country that are running out of fuel right now, and they're going to have to wait maybe 4 or 5 days. They're going to maybe have to wait longer, depending how long it takes for everything to get completely back online here with this pipeline. And your first reaction is, hey, have you thought about the macro on this? Is this going to help to speed things up? Now, if you were a politician that cared about the American people, what do you think you would say, Jake? What would you say if you were a politician and a reporter outrageously says to you, hey, do you think there's a chance, like an advantage here? Do you think this is an opportunity to get people off their duff and go buy an electric vehicle? Like, you need to get out there. Do you think this is a good time to say that? Or a bad time to say that?
Most definitely a bad time.
It's a bad time to say that. So what does the smiling Jennifer Granholm, the energy secretary, say? What a great choice. Listen to this.
I mean, we obviously are all in on making sure that we meet the president's goals of getting to 100% clean electricity by 2035.
With that little giggle in her voice. Are you kidding me? Are you really going there right now? Shouldn't you say, look, let's do Politics 101. Let's just play politician for a second. Okay, if you're asked that question, here's Politics 101, everybody. And kids, what a valuable lesson for you. Here you go. You ready? I find it really inappropriate that you're asking me that question right now when we have the American people that are concerned about the free flow of oil here from Texas into the Northeast area and even into the East Coast of Florida, the East Coast of the country. And we should be more concerned about getting rid of those gas lines and much more concerned about making sure that we get fuel into the places that there would be no disruption. And okay, do you see where I'm going here? What is she doing? Wait, go ahead. Play that again. Let's see what she says. All right, here we go.
And net zero carbon emissions by 2050. And, if you drive an electric car, this would not be affecting you, clearly.
So if you were, Jake, you fool, if you were driving an electric vehicle right now, this wouldn't be affecting you at all. What's wrong with you people? Don't you understand? You would have an electric vehicle right now. You would be smooth. It'd be like butter. You'd have no problem right now. Do you see? What did I say to you yesterday? Didn't I say that somebody's going to come along or somebody in the administration thinks this is a great thing? And what happened? She just said it. Does that shock you at all? You as a millennial. You as somebody who's completely unplugged from politics and more plugged into Death of Warfare Part 7.
No, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
actually.
For them, makes complete sense.
Unfortunately, I can't afford an electric car, so I can't do that. It's not enough.
Yeah, well, there's
I'm going to have to use gas.
And there's also the way that, certain places are run and how the fossil fuels that runs many of the plants across the country that create the fuel.
One battery created for...
Oh, and the casing for batteries is created out of petroleum products.
It's the equivalent of 8 years of driving.
Yeah. And 40% of a barrel of oil is actually the fuel part. There's 60% that's doing other things. Who gives us not about oil?
The broader issue is a very important issue. It's an issue for the president's priority in the American Jobs Plan, the issue of investing in a transmission grid, for example, so that you don't have the cyber issues associated with it. So there's a lot of broader questions in this.
Yeah, there's a lot of broader questions in it. Like, do you really care about what is happening, the sensitivity of the moment, or do you think this is not letting a crisis go to waste? It's not letting a crisis go to waste with her big smile, and she thinks it's fun and exciting, and it's pretty ghoulish is the word people are using. It's pretty sick. It's pretty sick and ghoulish that the energy secretary would sit back and look at this as an opportunity. But this is something that Democrats do very well. There are many people that you can think of, maybe even some presidents from the past, who have been more than happy to not let a crisis go to waste. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Now I can. Yeah, is this how you envision America working? Is this what you voted for? You know, that I think more and more there's buyer's remorse. But the only time we're really going to discover whether or not there's buyer's remorse with Joe Biden and these policies, these very harmful policies, and the attitude of this administration, is whether or not people are going to, secretly or otherwise, step up to a ballot box and make sure that it doesn't happen again. And the fear is that Democrats are just I don't want to use the word stupid. I don't want to use the word dumb. I don't want to use any kind of language like that. But ask yourself, why do Democrats think that this is a good idea, to have someone in an administration who is wagging a finger at you right now and saying, if you just would have had an electric vehicle, you wouldn't have to worry about this. Oh, by the way, it gets worse. Could it possibly get worse from Jennifer Granholm and the administration? Yeah, it can. Oh, yes, it can. So when we come back, maybe we'll have some time to play a little more audio on this. Also, some of the other things that are going on. The CDC has been misleading the general public on how often the data shows that the coronavirus spreading from person to person in indoor settings, it plays out with Is that true? Could it possibly be that the CDC lies to you? No, they're just misleading. Are they really? How could you do that? Why would you do that? I don't know. Maybe we should ask Dr. Fauci. Oh, well, there's Rand Paul and Fauci part deux. I guess a do-over of, or a part two of a battle royale between the two of them yesterday. If you didn't hear that audio, we'll have that coming up. So that's fun. And what else do we have going on? Oh, man, we just have a whole lot of things happening. Why don't we just take a break? And when we come back, we'll get to your calls. We'll get to your thoughts on everything that's transpiring right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. 92.5foxnews.com.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions Incorporated, providing organic and botanical pest control solutions since 2011.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Panic at the pump. Long lines in about 1,000 stations across the U.S. Southeast running out of gas because of last week's hack attack on the Colonial Pipeline, which delivers around 45% of the fuel to the east. A gas station owner in Tennessee says
people were coming in and loading, trying to buy, 5 and 10 cans worth of gasoline. They're just hoarding it.
Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm says there's no need for hoarding.
Especially in light of the fact that the pipeline should be substantially operational by the end of this week.
Several attorneys general warn against price gouging. On Wall Street Tuesday, fear about possible inflation producing a grim picture. The Dow closing down about 474, the S&P off by 36, the Nasdaq down by 12. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jill Nato, invested in you.
Having your own home is awesome, but it's also a lot of work. The good news? Finding help for your projects is easier than ever. Introducing Angie, the app that puts all your home care needs at your fingertips. Need a pro to fix that emergency leak? Maybe find someone to build a deck, or even set your seasonal tasks on autopilot. Angie can handle all that and more. Expert pros, hundreds of home projects, clear pricing, and the easiest way to book and pay in seconds. This is Angie, your home for everything home. Download the app today.
What makes Genesis of Naples the #1 selling Genesis dealer in the nation? It's our incredible selection and professional sales staff. Hi, I'm Sheila Zellers, owner of Genesis of Naples. When I drive my beautiful new 2021 Genesis GV80 around town, the first thing everyone says to me is, what is that beautiful SUV? I tell them it's the all-new first ever SUV from Genesis. Then they usually ask, how much does it cost? I know it's hard to believe, but it starts at just $49,500 and the fully equipped Prestige for just over $70,000. It has an amazing interior and breathtaking design and your choice of turbo engines in rear and all-wheel drive. But that's not all. New 2021 Genesis G70s have 0% financing and 72 months plus $1,000 cash back. And we have a huge selection of the all-new 2021 Genesis G80s and G90s. Come visit Genesis of Naples on Airport Road or genesisofnaples.com.
All offers with approved credit on select models based on January 2021 retail sales. 72 months of $0 per month per 1,000 finance. No down payment required.
Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. A statement like that might get you canceled these days. Who said it? Benjamin Franklin. I'm Lori Roman, president of the American Constitutional Rights Union, and this is a Live Free Minute. The founders risked everything to fight for liberty. Imagine what they would think about COVID passports. Tying medical choices to the ability to participate in society is unconstitutional and creepy. Please join us in standing up against COVID passports, whether enacted by the government or the private sector, because without the freedom to make our own medical choices and engage in commerce, we can't live free. This Live Free Minute is brought to you by the American Constitutional Rights Union, a national nonprofit based in Naples, Florida. If you'd like to learn more, visit theacru.org. Theacru.org.
True relief for back and neck pain. Are you driving down the road right now with back or neck pain or pain into your arms or legs? Maybe your struggle is getting out of your bed or chair. Maybe you get weakness when you put weight on your leg or swing your golf club. It's time you address this problem once and for all. At Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, these are the conditions that we treat every day, except we treat the root of the problem. No injections or pain meds. Non-surgical spinal decompression, recognized around the country for incredible statistical results for long-term pain relief. Break the cycle of pain from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, arthritis, or car accidents. Non-surgical spinal decompression can get your life back. Spinal decompression is safe and comfortable for any age and doesn't involve any hanging upside down. Don't hurt anymore when the answer is only a phone call away. Call our Medicare-friendly office, Johnston Spinal Care, for a free telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
I'm Harvey Massey. At Massey Services, we know every lawn is unique and requires customized care. That's why our environmental approach includes aeration, which allows water and nutrients to reach the roots of your lawn, as well as an irrigation program which ensures proper coverage and reduces water waste. With Massey's Green Up program, you'll enjoy a healthy and a beautiful lawn year-round. That's Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
Chevy Sales Desk, Marty.
Hey there, Melvin.
It's Marty.
You know Victory Lane?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, Murray.
No, Marty.
Okay, Mario.
Marty!
Memorial Day is a great holiday to celebrate heroes and Chevys at Victory Lane.
I don't like parties, all right?
Well, Victory Lane's going all out with 0 down on new Silverados, just $375 a month, or new Chevy Bolt, just $349 a month. 0 down.
No money down? Oh, boy.
That's right, Margaret.
It's Marty. Why can't you remember my name?
Well, can you blame me? I'm trying to forget your ridiculously high prices.
Save thousands during the Memorial Day sale at Victory Lane Chevrolet. Save with 0 down on new Silverados, just $375 a month, or new Chevy Bolt, just $349 a month with 0 down. Plus max for your trade and our goal 100% credit approval. Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Find new roads online at victorylanechevrolet.com. 39-month lease for current lessees, 10K miles per year, all rebates to dealer. Taxes and fees extra, expires 5/31.
Dr. Svetlana Kogan here, a board-certified internal medicine concierge physician on 5th Avenue South in Naples. Many of you wonder what holistic practice is. Well, good health is like a puzzle. It depends on how you perceive yourself, your environment, what you eat, your relationships, and lifestyle. It takes time and skill for the doctor to put these pieces of the puzzle together for you and come up with solutions customized to your specific needs. Holistic doctors believe that less medication is better and use preventive approach to keep you out of harm's way. This is also a concierge practice. Every patient gets my email and cell phone for emergencies and can be seen the same day if necessary. You are seen by me personally, and we take all the time that you need. You can visit my website, customlongevity.com. That's customlongevity.com to learn about how I, Dr. Svetlana Kogan, can help you feel healthy and balanced again.
Wink News, traffic.
A crash in Cape Coral at Northeast 6th and Kismet Parkway is slowing traffic eastbound on Kismet. This is heading towards Andalusia. It's not a major backup, but about a quarter mile long. If you're looking for the alternate, Diplomat's still up to speed. Also, traffic is slowing over that Midpoint Bridge into Fort Myers. Lots of cars heading this way. However, we're still up to speed on the Cape Coral Bridge. There's a slowdown getting off of the Sanibel Causeway on a Summerlin eastbound to John Morris Road. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News. Next.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. Starting off warm and muggy once again, and that transitions to hot and humid. Temps in the upper 80s near the coast, low to mid 90s inland, but with a touch of additional humidity. Our feels-like temperatures will flirt with the lower 100s, so be sure to stay hydrated. Something else you will notice is areas of rain and thunderstorms starting near the coastline and I-75 early before generally trekking inland throughout the day. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I just want to say I love America because everyone gets a voice.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right, all along.
All right, folks, step right up. Step right up. You're not going to believe your ears. Today only I'm offering you air conditioning service for only $29. That's right. I'll send this cute little chimp dressed in overalls to check out your AC for just $29. That's not all, folks. With all the rebates and discounts of up to $5 quadrillion, you can get a super-duper system for next to nothing. I'll even throw in the magic UV light for free.
Don't be fooled by AC companies offering deals too good to be true. Kobe Cooling urges you to shop around before buying into the hype about government rebates and discounts. Kobe Cooling is an honest, family-owned business with NATE-trained and certified technicians, not clean and tuned salesmen. Kobe gives you a great product, professional, honest service at a fair price without all the sales pitches. Kobe Cooling, the most trusted name in the business since 1949. Call 482-1542, 482-1542, or go online to KobeCooling.com. License number CAC 1813722.
Brian, whatever it takes.
Few moments bring you joy like opening your inbox after you've done your taxes, clicking the subject line, and reading that one email you've been waiting for. So, what? Someone already filed my return? During tax season, your personal info, like your name or social security number, is all right there on your tax forms, possibly getting emailed and shared more than usual. And that could leave you exposed to identity thieves. Good thing LifeLock monitors your personal info, alerts you to possible suspicious activity, and if you become a victim of identity theft, a dedicated US-based specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock helps you keep what's yours. Join today and save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com with promo code NEWS. That's promo code NEWS for 25% off at LifeLock.com.
Psst, I'm about to say a dirty word, a really dirty word. Cover your kids' ears. Ready? Plumber. Hi, I'm Rob Hill of Bob Hill Plumbing. I'm not sure why plumber is a dirty word. I like to think of myself as a respectful, clean, and honest plumber. In fact, I'm proud to say that Bob Hill Plumbing is one of the oldest businesses in Naples. My dad founded Bob Hill Plumbing in 1952. I instilled the same tradition and values as he had back in the 50s. I dare you to find that in the chuck and a truck world. Everyone has an AC guy or an electrical guy, but a plumber? If you need plumbing services, I invite you to call me today, and I'll prove to you that we've cleaned up the word plumber. See, even the radio guy stopped beeping me out. Bob Hill Plumbing. Let me be your plumbing guy.
To schedule service, call Bob Hill Plumbing at 262-6119 or go to bobhillplumbing.com.
Florida voters overwhelmingly passed a constitutional amendment to do one simple thing. Require that any expansion of gambling be approved by the voters, not the politicians, not the lobbyists. It's called voter control of gambling, and it's the law. But gambling lobbyists want politicians to break it. They've hatched a plan to expand gambling without your approval. More casinos, legalized sports betting, even slot machines on cell phones, just like the strip mall casinos that called themselves internet cafes. All over again, and all cooked up by Tallahassee lobbyists. It would be the biggest expansion of gambling in Florida history without the biggest thing required by Florida's Constitution, your approval. Voter control of gambling isn't a suggestion. It's the law. Tell your legislator, don't break it. Sponsored by No Casinos.
Nothing runs like a... I need something I can depend on. I need a Kubota.
At Florida Coast Equipment, we have equipment you can depend on. We have the best deals in town for Kubota tractors, mowers, utility vehicles, and Kubota construction equipment. Our family has been Florida's premier Kubota dealership for over 30 years. Whether you're buying, renting, or simply need your Kubota service, come on over to Florida Coast Equipment in Naples. Equipment you can depend on at a price you'll love. Florida Coast Equipment, we've got you covered.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Jeff Bezos has quite a project going. The founder of Amazon is reported to be building a $500 million super yacht that is so big the Suez Canal would get stuck in it.
Very nice. Jeff Bezos, I guess he's got this super yacht. You heard about this? So Jeff Bezos has this super yacht competition going on. I guess he wants the biggest yacht on the planet, and so he's in competition with I forget the guy's name. It's like the one of the guys in Saudi Arabia, someplace out there, who's got this big, huge yacht. And so his yacht is so big that it's not even like a joke. It sounds like a joke. My yacht's so big, I need a yacht for my super yacht. Isn't that funny? Seriously though, that's what's going on here. It's this, he's building. So this guy is an ultra billionaire, and he wants this giant, supersized yacht, like the biggest yacht on the planet. And it needs its own yacht, I guess, to maybe make its way to the front of the boat where he's got the helicopter to take. It's that crazy. That's Jake is looking like, can I borrow $10? I mean, that's real, right? My first reaction is, it's kind of humorous, because what would you do if you were like the world's richest man, and what would you do with all of those riches? Would your first reaction be, I gotta build the biggest yacht. I gotta compete for the biggest yacht on the planet. That's what I need to do. Is that what you would think, Jake? What would you be doing if you had that kind of money? Like, money was no object. The kind of, just imagine your life is filled with, you can do anything with that money. And I'm talking like a lot of money. We're not talking about millions. We're talking about billions, right? So have you thought about that?
I would probably buy a castle in like Slovenia.
You'd buy a Slovenian castle. Yeah, nice. Like Dracula's old castle, which by the way is in the news. I guess the book, Bram Stoker's, is that what it is? Dracula, the book that was written about, I might be wrong on the name of the guy. Or that might be the movie portion. In other words, the person that wrote the book and talked about, Vlad the Impaler, or whatever his name was, Dracula, right? That castle where he was, supposedly the one written. They're doing COVID vaccines there. That's one of the places where if you go, you're going to go get your vaccine. So that's pretty cool, right? That's probably incentive. It's like, yeah, I got my vaccine today. I went down to Publix. Where did you go? I went to the castle where Vlad the Impaler used to live. So now it's like. That kind of impressive.
Memorable experience, yeah.
Yeah. Sort of like the old Brian Regan joke where, you always think that you're one-upping your neighbor, and you say, man, I'll tell you what, I did 300 pounds bench press today. And the guy says, yeah, well, my uncle is Neil Armstrong. It's like, how do you beat that? It's like, my uncle landed on the moon. I just lifted 300. Anyway, I don't know, something to that effect. I kind of messed up the joke. But I only bring this up because I thought about that in this, and I'm going to get to your calls, 239-479-5592, that if I had that kind of money, I wouldn't be thinking super yacht. You know what I think the first thing that I would do is I would think about our veterans. I would think about our military. And I would think that if you come home, I would have a fund set up that I would take care of everything. I'm not sure how I'm going to get a mortgage done. I'm worried about my kids' education. Done. I'm really concerned about my health and what's going on. Done. Period. There's the fund. There it is. Knock yourself out. What do you need? Done. Period. Full stop. That's it. Somebody's going to take care of you, and I'm going to do it. And I'd probably have billions of dollars left over after the fact. So take it. Use it. You if anybody deserves it, you deserve it. You're coming home from deployment. Your family is concerned about you making it home and the condition that you're going to be in here. Well, there's a couple of things that are going to be off your plate for good, period, full stop. Is that too tough to do? I don't know. You got that kind of money, and you're thinking yachts. I mean, that's just me. These are the same people that, I don't know, what some of the things that not only they're selling me, I can't get off of. If you go onto Amazon, you do like a little Amazon shopping. Jake, are you big on Amazon shopping? You go on there on Bezos' favorite place. By the way, Bezos also owns what? The Washington Post. Isn't that his thing as well? So this is the same guy who's allowing all the things to be written about, well, fill in the blank at the Post. So I'm not really sure he's thinking the way we think. I just think about some of the things that I look at on Amazon, and you get that front page, and it's like, I only came here for socks. That's all. I just need a pair of socks. And then I leave with like a toaster, a 1/4-inch crescent wrench, and things I don't need. I don't even know what a 1/4-inch crescent wrench does. All right. But it was on does it even exist? I don't know. All right, 239-479-5592. Now I'm making tools up. That's how you know how useless I am with a tool in my hand. All right, let's see. I know that Kevin's been holding patiently because Kevin wanted to comment on what's going on with gas prices and what's been happening with some of the shortages that are going on with, for example, the story out of Kentucky where there's a bunch of Ford F-150s that are sitting in a warehouse on a lot because they can't move the trucks out because they can't get the microchips in the vehicles, computer run, to get them sold. It's a mess. All right, Kevin wanted to talk about this. Good morning, Kevin. Are you there?
Hey, good morning.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm all right. What's on your mind besides everything I just pretty much said about you?
Yeah. So we're in a fuel shortage, and certain people are celebrating electric vehicles, but it's funny that they're not mentioning anything about the microchip shortage or semiconductor shortage, and they're trying to talk about that, and it's pretty interesting to see the hypocrisy in it.
Kevin, too many balls in the air. There's just too much stuff. I mean, when you've got crises left and right, or crises left and right, I mean, you got to focus on one, buddy. You can't. What do you expect? Do you think you're going to focus on 10 of them? They got all these fires to put out. Can we just put out one? Yeah. So no, I understand what you're saying. For those that don't know, I mean, this microprocessor, the microchip shortage is really out of control. I mean, you're starting to see it, like we said, in vehicles. Yeah, that electric vehicle. Hey, Jennifer Granholm, Energy Secretary, how does that sucker run? Does it run with a microchip in it? Are there electronics in that thing? Because I'm hearing, by the way, and I don't know if you heard this, Kevin, but I'm hearing more and more auto manufacturers, just to get the vehicles out, are taking things out that have to do with microchips. For example, fancy digital displays or things that have to do with directional signals and how they operate. And they're taking some of that out just to get the vehicles out the door, and even talking about introducing analog, doing more analog displays, just because otherwise they're not going to be able to sell vehicles. They're going to be sitting for too long. I wonder how electric vehicles, they don't have any kind of microchips or anything in them, right? I mean.
Yeah, they do. And you have Xboxes, computers, all the prices.
Oh, listen, don't mention, do me a favor, please. Don't mention the Xbox thing around Jake.
Yeah.
It makes him, you have no idea. I told you the other day that there is at least 3 pens that fly across the studio walls during the morning with Jake being so upset about the fact that he still can't get this Xbox or he still can't get the microchip or whatever part it is for his
cards, but
whatever he just said. The computer
I'm
parts.
right there with you, buddy.
Yeah. So, all right, Kevin. Good luck to you. Off you go. Off you go. Yeah. Here's the genie. What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
What? You like that? Would you like it from now on if
there are people out there like me?
There are. Yeah, there are. There are some. Would you like that if from now on when we take phone calls, I just tell people, off you go? Off you go.
Reminded me of the Queen from Alice in Wonderland. I don't know why.
The Queen from Alice in Wonderland. When I said off you go.
Yeah, you know the off with his head part?
No, it's... I think, if I'm not mistaken, by the way, if you're somebody who is British,
Am I wrong?
if you're somebody who's British, you're from the UK, maybe you like to fake British accents or whatever it is, could you call right now, 239-479-5592 and confirm or deny this? If you say, that's what they say in the UK, they say, off you go. You know, you guys ready to go play some cricket? Well, off you go.
Honestly, I have a friend from the UK, and he says, I can't be bothered whenever I ask him if he wants to do something. And I was so offended the first time he said it to me.
Yeah.
Until I realized that that's just...
No, I think that's pretty much about he doesn't want to be bothered by you.
Yeah, but he's not like being whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's just, listen, when you have a British accent, things sound a lot easier on you when they're dismissing you. All right, getting back to this, in case you missed it earlier, Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm doesn't want to admit that the Colonial Pipeline issue has been a big issue when it comes to a couple of different things going on with the fuel shortage and, you know, these lines and some stations that are running out of fuel. It's starting to look like the 70s all over again. I miss Jimmy Carter. So now you have the administration, the energy secretary, who's admitting you don't want to let a crisis go to waste. I mean, listen, if you fools would have gotten an electric vehicle when we told you to, we wouldn't have had this problem. No, I'm not kidding. That's actually something that she said about electric vehicles. Like, you should have got them. But how about this? We don't have a current gasoline situation. It's just a little supply crunch. That's all it is. It's a supply crunch. And not only is there just a little supply crunch going on, but you're going to love this one. Check this out. You know, pipelines, they're a really good thing. Actually, they're the best way to get oil from one place to another. Because there was a reporter that's saying, hey, listen, what do we do now? Do we use trains, planes, and automobiles? I mean, how do we go across the United States to get that oil from point A to point B? Listen to this nonsense.
There may or may not be the right rail cars. There may not or may not be the deep water ports available for the Jones Act to be able to respond. So this particular area of the country, this is why we have doubled down on ensuring that there's an ability to truck oil in, gas in. But it's the pipe is the best way to go, and so that's why.
Wait. We're not sure. We're not sure how we're going to get the fuel from point A to point B yet. We're not sure if we're going to do this by rail. We're going to do this over our roads, but
it's the pipe is the best way to go, and so that's why.
The pipe is the best way to go, everybody. So there's Jennifer Granholm, who's trying to let everybody know that you fools, you should have gotten electric vehicles when we told you to. And oh boy, this really helps our push to get everybody on the grid or off the grid or whatever it is when it comes to fossil fuels. And not only that, but yes, the same administration who shut down the Keystone Pipeline is now telling you that the best way to get that oil from Texas to the Northeast, is the pipeline. Really? You tell us now. That's foolish. All right, hold on a second. Is this Carl from Bushwood? What are you doing, Carl? Why are you up this?
I was up really early, Drew. I was going to call you because, I'm filling out my application this morning, me and the boys, and wanted to know if you wanted to come with us.
Fill out an application for what?
Well, we're all quitting our jobs. We're going back to college there. It's free from Biden, and we're joining Lambda.
You are really? Okay, I had no idea. That's
Well, we were thinking about that. No, but we're hearing, about that boat situation there. Old Smales, he's got a new slough.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Judge Smales. Judge Smales has that.
Yeah, and he likes to say it's easy to grin when your ship comes in and you think you got the stock market beats, but a man worthwhile is a man who can smile when his shorts aren't too tight in the seat.
I forgot about that. Well, good for us for remembering that. All right. Very, very nice. Anything else you'd like to leave us with here?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if there's no go-go juice for my greens mowers, we got no putt-putt juice for you to knock it in the hole. So, those of you that aren't going to look for a job and you don't have a job, for goodness sake, leave the gas for us that have it. Thank you.
All right. Very nice. All right.
Keep it in the short grass. There you go.
I'm trying to keep it in. All right. There he goes. It's Carl from Bushwood, everybody. Yeah. Yeah, we don't worry about him. We just worry about us. All right. 239-479-5592. Let's go to a break, Jake. And when we come back, we will have safety and security expert Richard Kolko will be in studio with us. A couple of, things you should know that are going on here in Southwest Florida. But there's also a story he brought to my attention. It's kind of changing gears a little bit here. That has to do with policing. And are there people that are out there right now who are trying to set up cops on video to have a situation happen that might be, let's just put it this way, dangerous for officers, just in the name of making their name on social media? It's an outrageous, crazy story, but you have to hear it. It's coming up next. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
A crash in Cape Coral at Northeast 6th and Kismet Parkway is slowing traffic eastbound on Kismet. This is heading towards Andalusia. It's not a major backup, but about a quarter mile long. If you're looking for the alternate, Diplomat's still up to speed. Also, traffic is slowing over that Midpoint Bridge into Fort Myers. Lots of cars heading this way. However, we're still up to speed on the Cape Coral Bridge. There's a slowdown getting off of the Sanibel Causeway on a Summerlin eastbound to John Morris Road. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News next.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. Warm, muggy, and a few areas of fog this morning. Transitions to a hot, humid afternoon with areas of rain and thunderstorms, especially inland across Southwest Florida. One change I do want to note especially is with temperatures in the low to mid 90s and a little bit more humidity this afternoon. Our feels like temperatures will once again flirt with the triple digits. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Rush Limbaugh.
ATE.com.
Back to journalism, the Los Angeles Times looked into the multi-billion-dollar high-speed bullet train that is supposed to fight global warming if it ever gets built and if anybody bothers to ride the thing. The high-speed train is years behind schedule. Just since 2018, the cost has jumped from $64 billion to $77 billion. More delays and cost overruns are coming. This is not even factoring in the coronavirus to it. Among the problems, the LA Times reports, is the operating culture at the building services consultancy for the train, a global company called WSP. Now, allegedly, employees who tell the truth about problems with the California train project are told to shut up and toe the company line. If they don't, they face the coronavirus. A top executive brought into work on the project says the people in charge have no technical background. They never disclose the real costs and they don't tell the real truth. There's just a bunch of politicians. And this expert says the best thing that can be done with California's high-speed train is to cancel all the contracts and start over. Now, for years, I've told you this high-speed train's a train to nowhere. Never was a good idea, and it'll never be a good idea. The smartest thing to do after canceling all the contracts would be to scrub the whole project and blame it on the coronavirus.
%20 of all U.S. dollars were created in 2020. That's stunning, isn't it? What do you think the effect of all those newly printed dollars will lead to? Inflation, maybe? It certainly won't lead to the dollar becoming more valuable. People have long purchased gold and silver as a hedge against inflation. That's because gold and silver have increased in value as the purchasing power of the dollar declines. Buying real gold and silver, the kind you can hold in your hands, is much easier than you think. You can have it delivered securely and privately to your home, or you can even put real gold and silver in your IRA or 401k. You do that with Oxford Gold Group. The Oxford Gold Group is the industry leader in precious metals. They offer real gold and silver for the lowest prices, and they have a free precious metals investment guide they can send to you. Call the Oxford Gold Group today at 833-404-GOLD. Again, that number is 833-404-GOLD.
Hey, this is Papa reporting that a lady recently complained that she did not like my commercial about the guy spitting chewing tobacco. She said that sound made her sick. I asked her what she thought about my commercial of Bart the donkey, and she went... Either way, a special thanks to over 4,000 wonderful people who did respond to Papa's wacky commercials and making this past year our biggest, most profitable year in over 30 years. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Kerry, and Cody, we invite you to call Papa for our free tile roof inspection. If we find needed repairs, we'll do our best to make it affordable. Let us show you how we can clean and seal your tile roof, pavers, and pool decks the eco-friendly way, and it's cleaner, safer, and lasts longer. We promise to keep the donkey off your roof. Call me, Papa, for our free tile roof inspection. 945-2700. That's 945-2700. Remember, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7.
License number CCC 1326213.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Our team can help you understand your legal options after an accident. We will file your claim and fight for the full compensation you deserve. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
Manufactured in the USA, Plantation Shutters for You is the best choice for plantation shutters. Custom measured and installed just for you. Built to last forever. They will not be undersold. Start with a free consultation. PlantationShuttersForYou.com. And God bless everyone.
Florida voters overwhelmingly passed a constitutional amendment to do one simple thing. Require that any expansion of gambling be approved by the voters, not the politicians, not the lobbyists. It's called voter control of gambling, and it's the law. But gambling lobbyists want politicians to break it. They've hatched a plan to expand gambling without your approval. More casinos, legalized sports betting, even slot machines on cell phones, just like the strip mall casinos that called themselves internet cafes. All over again, and all cooked up by Tallahassee lobbyists. It would be the biggest expansion of gambling in Florida history without the biggest thing required by Florida's Constitution: your approval. Voter control of gambling isn't a suggestion. It's the law. Tell your legislator, don't break it. Sponsored by No Casinos.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
A surge of filling up has gas stations running out. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Crazy. I was told last night gas was going to go up 20 cents a gallon. So I filled all my vehicles up and all my gas cans. Now today, there's no gas.
He's in Virginia, one of several states dealing with gas shortages. After the Colonial Pipeline cyber attack, 16% of stations in North Carolina have run out, and there have been price increases, as he referenced. But Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm says hoarding isn't necessary.
Especially in light of the fact that the pipeline should be substantially operational by the end of this week.
Now, that's an issue that might come up today when President Biden meets with the leaders of Congress, both parties, to try to also find common ground on a massive infrastructure rebuild plan. House Republicans meet this morning and may remove Congresswoman Liz Cheney from a leadership post as she keeps speaking out, calling Donald Trump a threat to democracy.
A former president who provoked a violent attack on this Capitol in an effort to steal the election.
Some Republicans question whether Cheney can lead the GOP's effort to win control of the House in 2022. There is a key CDC meeting today on Pfizer's COVID vaccine for kids 12 to 15. The FDA approved that back on Monday.
In its announcement, the FDA said it increases the chance for safely returning to the classroom this fall for middle and high school students. Today's advisory committee meeting is the next step in the rollout, and if all goes well, the vaccinations could start as early as tomorrow. In a trial with 2,000 children aged 12 to 15, Pfizer's vaccine was 100% effective in protecting against infection.
That's Fox's Tanya J. Powers. There's been another barrage of Palestinian rockets fired out of Gaza and Israeli airstrikes into it, with a lot of destruction on both sides. At least 43 Palestinians have been killed since Monday. 5 Israelis are dead. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News. Traffic.
A crash in Cape Coral at Northeast 6th and Kismet Parkway is slowing traffic eastbound on Kismet. This is heading towards Andalusia. It's not a major backup, but about a quarter mile long. If you're looking for the alternate, Diplomat's still up to speed. Also, traffic is slowing over that Midpoint Bridge into Fort Myers. Lots of cars heading this way. However, we're still up to speed on the Cape Coral Bridge. There's a slowdown getting off of the Sanibel Causeway on a Summerlin eastbound to John Morris Road. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News next.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. Starting off warm and muggy once again, and that transitions to hot and humid. Temps in the upper 80s near the coast, low to mid 90s inland, but with a touch of additional humidity. Our feels-like temperatures will flirt with the lower 100s, so be sure to stay hydrated. Something else you will notice is areas of rain and thunderstorms starting near the coastline and I-75 early before generally trekking inland throughout the day. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We want your car, truck, van, or SUV today. We are paying top dollar for clean vehicles. Before you sell or trade, call Lee Auto Group to get the most money for your car. Lee Auto Group, lee-cars.com. Don't forget the dash.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
Before buttons, things were much harder, like starting an outboard motor. Come on. Or even treating sleep apnea. If you've tried CPAP but struggle to get a good night's sleep, relief can be as easy as a button with Inspire.
Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit InspireSleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
All right, we've got lucky caller number 4, Marcus, on the line. If he answers this question, he wins a new car.
Let's do this.
Okay, for a new car, name the only actor to appear in...
And now a message from our sponsor.
With 24/7 support and quick and easy claims, Progressive protects what matters most. Progressive.
Films all in the same year.
Wait, sorry, I didn't hear the question.
3 seconds, Marcus.
Yeah, no, but there was an ad in the middle.
You didn't answer.
But I didn't hear anything.
Marcus, you dropped it in the dirt.
Progressive. There's never a bad time for great protection. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
The only thing worse than hiring no law firm after your injury is hiring the wrong law firm. When thousands of people call us every year asking to help them change law firms, I wonder why they ever call the other firm. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. We are big for a reason, which is why we've recovered over $9 billion for our clients. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, this is Papa reporting that a lady recently complained that she did not like my commercial about the guy spitting chewing tobacco. She said that sound made her sick. I asked her what she thought about my commercial of Bart the donkey, and she went... Either way, a special thanks to over 4,000 wonderful people who did respond to Papa's wacky commercials and making this past year our biggest, most profitable year in over 30 years. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Carrie, and Cody, we invite you to call Papa for our free tile roof inspection. If we find needed repairs, we'll do our best to make it affordable. Let us show you how we can clean and seal your tile roof, pavers, and pool decks the eco-friendly way, and it's cleaner, safer, and lasts longer. We promise to keep the donkey off your roof. Call me, Papa, for our free tile roof inspection. 945-2700. That's 945-2700. Remember, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7.
License number CCC 1326213.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors? My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdor.com.
Hello, Floridians. Today is a good day. Today is a good day to stay comfortable. Today is a good day to have your AC worries taken away. And it's a good day to get service backed by over 50 years of AC excellence.
Oh, yes!
So if you're having AC issues, get a new Carrier system and save up to $2,000 in rebates, plus 6 months no payments. And Florida Cool Today will help you get the best from today.
Call today, cool today, FloridaCoolToday.com.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. We stream live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. And yes, I know people get frustrated, but look, it's how you're consuming. Most people are consuming. Yes, we're still on YouTube. Yes, we're still on Facebook at Drew Steele Radio. I mean, every once in a while we get a little ding. Every once in a while we get taken down. But it's like a game. We go there. They take us down. We put ourselves back up. They take us down. We'll just do the back and forth. We keep doing it because it's almost that's the way I'm looking at it right now. I'm not looking at it as anything else. I feel like when I do that, I guess one way of looking at it is I feel like I'm sort of like a needle in their or I'm like nudging them. I'm like a needle in their side. I'm like a thorn in the paw of a tiger or something like that, right? Isn't that there's a story about that, that the thorn in the tiger in the paw. Yeah. And okay. Rich Coco in studio with us, by the way. Good morning, Rich Coco, safety and security expert, Wink News. Speaking of tigers, can I just mention this story real fast? And this is not where I wanted to go this morning, but I have to go here. Do you remember yesterday the story about the tiger that was roaming the Houston neighborhood? Did you hear about that, Jake? Do you remember I played the audio? I don't think I played the audio on the air of the neighbor who was like, what's going on here? There's this, right? Did you not hear that audio yesterday?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay, so listen, just real fast. So this tiger's roaming the neighborhood, and this lady's like looking out the window and she's recording it, right?
There is a freaking Bengal tiger, boom, in this yard, and this dude needs to be careful. Holy cow. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. He's gonna shoot it. He's gonna shoot it.
All right, and they didn't shoot it. They didn't know what was going to happen next when. So here's how I heard about the story, how it went down. In case you missed this, tigers roaming around Houston. It's out there in a residential area. People are freaking out. They're calling the cops. Like, you got to do something. The tiger guy, comes over with a big old SUV and said, "Hey, that's my tiger. That's my tiger. Don't shoot!" Right? Telling the cops, "Don't shoot. It's my tiger." Gets the tiger into the truck, gets in the truck and drives off.
Yeah.
Like he's gone, right? Okay. Well, it doesn't end there. So the first reaction is, man, how many tigers are there in the Houston area? Apparently there are a lot. There are a ton of people. There's like 5,000 tigers in captivity in the United States alone, like the whole United States. In the Houston area, I guess this is, I don't know if it's a thing or whatever.
It's a thing. It's like number 2 in the world of tiger population. I read.
So everybody's like, who's this guy? Well, there's a story behind this guy now. The animal reportedly belonged to a guy named Victor Cuevas, who was out of jail on bond on an unrelated murder charge. And so he was accused of shooting and killing a man in 2017 and is out on $125,000 bond. That's the guy that came to pick up the tiger. And they're like, hey, can we talk to you? And I guess he's now they're looking for him? They took him into custody. All right. He was supposed to turn himself in supposedly on Monday, but they ended up taking him into custody on Monday. But it's like, so it just takes this weird twist that all of a sudden the tiger guy happens to be also a criminal. And it's just an odd circumstance. You know, you kind of, the first thing you think of when you think of tigers in the possession of human beings in their home is
stupidity.
Well, okay, no, I think Scarface.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Right? Don't you remember
yes.
Scarface? Didn't Scarface have the tiger in the backyard? And right? Okay.
Yeah, I think Tiger King, but yeah.
No, I don't. You know, I don't. I have to be honest with you, and I'm going to say this, and hopefully I'll continue to keep the audience, and then we'll move on. I don't know anything about the Tiger King story.
Well, he's in jail too, so
yeah, I don't know. I don't even know I don't even know the origins. When the whole fad was going on with the movie, it was somebody's missing or somebody. I don't even know the story. All I keep thinking is Scarface.
Yep,
you know, that kind of thing. All right, let's get on to some other things, including cyber attacks and infrastructure security. The fact that we are looking at a situation where the number one pipeline that brings oil from Texas into the east coast of the country can be hacked. That's kind of a big deal, Richard Kolko, because you know a thing or two about cyber security, and you've been following even some of the local stories that we've heard, right?
Yep, there's definitely a problem here with the Colonial Pipeline, and actually the hackers did not shut down the pipeline, but what they did is they conducted a ransomware attack. They stole data from the company. I don't know what that data is, but you can assume it's some proprietary data, customer data, operations data, financial data, things that, that Colonial needs to operate in a profitable manner. Yeah. And they're holding that ransom. And then in a protective manner, Colonial shut down the pipeline. Before they got more data when they had to secure their computer systems. And we find ourselves where we're at right now. I think it's up to 11 states now have declared an emergency, a state of emergency by the governors because of fuel shortage. Mm-hmm. Unexpected in Florida. Most of that's I think almost panic buying of what we're seeing in some of the stations here.
There's definitely, because even yesterday I was reporting that the day before, on Monday, that there were stations in Escambia and Tallahassee that were running out of fuel. And so there was panic buying even beginning. It's starting to trickle down in certain areas. And that's part of what the concern is. It's not just the panic buying, because what we're told is there's still ways to get the fuel because of how we get it here in the state of Florida. But the problem is how all of that's going to be shifted. I mean, if we're reporting or somebody's reporting on the fact that, listen, you don't have to worry about Florida because Florida gets most of its oil through the shoreline, right? They're getting it through ships.
Yeah. We don't use Colonial Pipeline here.
But what happens if the feds say, listen, because of this emergency that some states have, and we have to keep that flow going, we've looked and said the best way to get it to places in the Northeast is by boat. Then all of a sudden, then maybe we have to take from one and move to the other. How that all gets shifted like a shell game, I don't know if that's the case. So certainly there are states that are like Florida that are looking at this. But one of the other parts of this story is when it comes to ransomware, make no mistake about this. This isn't new. And it's not even new to Southwest Florida. I mean, we've had stories about ransomware right here.
Oh, we've had police departments in Southwest Florida, Naples, the city of Naples. The attackers really like the governments, hospitals, universities, police departments. These are entities that have not put in place the very robust security systems on their computer networks, and the hackers are pretty savvy and can find their way in pretty quick and steal the data, lock down the computers so these organizations can't get in there and operate, and then they hold that data for ransom. And it's become a business model because a lot of people are paying, including some local governments and police departments and hospitals, to get access to their data again, which just feeds the system. Hey, if I can do it there and I can do it again.
That's the problem with ransomware, is that if you pay the ransom, then you're telling the people that are asking for the ransom, this is easy. All right, we're going to be able to keep doing this. If you keep giving a ransom as opposed to fighting it back, I mean, how much you can possibly do in this world is tough. But certainly ransom, ransom when it has to do with anything, theft of property like this, or ransom when it comes to hostage taking or anything. If you give into hostage taking with ransoms, and there's a whole other topic with that, with pallets of cash and things like that. But anyway, I digress. That ultimately, you're feeding into this. Like these guys, the dark, whatever they are, the group, that whatever they said that they are, and wherever they come from, their whole thing and their message, if you saw the message, was, listen, we're not geopolitical, or we're not into geopolitics. we're neutral. We don't care. We just want money.
Right.
We just care about cash. That's all we care about.
And they're doing it with impunity because they're doing it from offshore where we can't get to them.
Yeah. So what does the federal government do? As in case you don't know, Richard Kolko has had 75 long years at the FBI. He worked like a hard. How many years is
21.
it? Okay, 21. I'm just that number. You realize the more you come in here, that number is going to get higher and higher. We got to get you. I'm going to get you a statue soon over there.
I wish it had been longer. They have that mandatory retirement. They threw me out.
Yeah, but I'm going to work on that. Believe
Okay.
me, I'm going to talk this up long enough that somebody's going to visit Southwest Florida and hear that you've 75 years in the bureau and he doesn't have like a plaque or something. I'm going to get that worked out for you.
Thank you.
So, then the typical questions come up. Number one, why as the federal government, shouldn't we be hiring the brainiacs, the best of the best, paying them ridiculous amounts of money to work for the federal government, to be the hackers, to beat the hackers? I mean, because the skinny kids that are in mom's basement or whatever it is, boy, that is, I tell you what, talk about stereotyping, that's awful. But the kids that are in their basement, like Jake, who know all these things about code and computers and all of this, it's like a game for them. This is like a video game. So to go as a hacking kid to go after a hacker, if you hire them for millions of dollars and said, dude, work for us. Your game, your life will be a game. Just find these hackers and hack into the hackers. Why aren't we doing that?
We are.
There's my answer. We are.
The U.S.
Well,
government.
then they need to get new skinny, goofy kids because they're not doing a good job.
Well, paying them is very, very difficult compared to the private sector, compared to some of these tech companies.
Why? Paying with the federal government? We got trillions we're paying people. What do you mean? Like hiding it, like not letting people know we're doing it?
Well, the government pay structure is set up, and there are bonuses for working in cyber in the government, but it certainly doesn't match a lot of working for Amazon and Microsoft and Apple, and very complex to get some of those young people in
All
here,
right, so
including being able to pass a background clearance, which is to come work in some of these agencies. You got to be able to do that as well. So it just keeps limiting the number of people. But let me assure you that between especially with Department of Homeland Security, National Security Agency, FBI, there are robust entities that are working to help protect the country on the cyber side, and it's just a very, very difficult battle. They can't do everything for you, and a lot of it has to do with these, especially private companies, private organizations, being willing to pay their money to buy some of these security systems, and a lot of them are just rolling the dice, saying it won't happen to me, and at the end of the day, it could. And are you prepared?
Yeah, but I think and it comes, and there is the private versus public sector issue. How the government is saying, man, I hope. Boy, I'll tell you what, I hope the Colonial Pipeline gets their act together and is able to handle this and pay for this and do this ransom. And the federal government's looking and going, hey, you want to hurry this up? In the meantime, we're looking at this as a real infrastructure issue, a huge one, and saying, can you get a little more involved in this? Why can't you help a little more than sitting back and waiting? And I know you're talking about the private sector.
Yeah, well, but no, there's differences here. First of all, on the cyber side, the private sector is very tied in with the federal government, more so than on the national security side, meaning terrorism and counterintelligence. When it comes down to terrorism, if a private company has to be notified, then the FBI or the entity will go talk to that. And it's statutory, they have to tell them that there's a threat or something like that. Yeah. On the cyber side, these private companies, part of the DHS has designated 16 different areas as part of a critical infrastructure in the United States. And those people are inside. They are now in the tent, under the tent, at the FBI, at DHS.
Well, how is it that this pipeline is not?
They are. Energy is one of the 16 critical infrastructures.
But so what you're suggesting that is that this pipeline, the largest pipeline in the United States that moves oil, the one that you would say if you were a hacker, you would sit there in some other country and go, if I'm going, there they are. That's the biggest one. Let's go after those guys. I would make the suggestion that the Fed should be like front and center. Like you would think that the number one, that the Feds would be front and center with Colonial and helping them when it comes to hacking in situations like that.
They are, but you're looking at what obviously can be considered a failure here. But there are thousands of attempted attacks every day that are successfully thwarted. So there are things that are working. It's just an impossible system to be 100% secure, but it's very painful when they do get through. Think about it when they shut down a police department, a university, a hospital. The Metro PD in Washington, D.C. right now, hackers got the information of the sources, the people that talk to the police. And they have now threatened to release those names to the public unless they get paid. Well, if somebody's a source for the cops and their name gets out there, now their life's in danger. It's a very complex issue.
Yeah, and speaking, and Rich Kolko is joining us in studio on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, talking a little bit about the hack pipeline here and the issues of cybersecurity and how, as Axios has called it, the ransomware pandemic, and it's happening all over the place. We're constantly hearing about it, and what more we could do to keep, like they're saying, no company is safe from ransomware. But certainly we have to be better at figuring out how we go after it. But even in the story that we were going to talk about this morning, and I think we've got a few minutes, the Oklahoma story of the officers and what's happening with social media. And I want you to talk about this story because even this has the same type of implications, which is where you're saying that the issues of ransomware and these criminal attacks that happen with cybersecurity, that there are many that are thwarted.
Yes.
We could also look at police departments and what you're about to talk about, where there are officers that are having exchanges with citizens, where there are many different exchanges that not only go well with officers, but you don't get to see the other side of it, which is how people treat officers. Yeah. And now we have this other story that I just want you to be aware of this, that this is happening. Tell everybody about this Oklahoma story.
Well, these three men set up the police. Well, first of all, let me back up. When you're a cop these days, and they start each day, each shift with what's called roll call, which is whether it happens out in a parking lot or at the station or at the precinct, and they talk about the issues that affect them, every day. Who are they looking for? What cars? What's the crime? Whatever's going on, whatever administrative data has to be passed on. One of the things that's brought up on a regular routine basis is somebody's going to say, don't forget the cell phone cameras are out there. Every time a cop gets out of their car right now or goes up to talk to somebody, there is somebody with a camera videotaping every interaction. And just think about what it's like to work under those conditions where every minute of your day is under the microscope of somebody who can selectively edit it, put it out there, and embarrass you, cost you your job, even sometimes get you arrested for very routine actions. So what happened in Oklahoma City was these three guys had to put in a fake phone call saying somebody's hiding in the bushes and looks threatening, and the police showed up to investigate.
Right.
And then somebody else came out at them and started harassing them for that, got in their face, hands in their pockets, which always makes officers nervous, wouldn't listen to any commands to just allow them to conduct their investigation, see if there was a threat to the public, and came up right up next to one of the officers who then pushed the man away. And a very dramatic fall, like some of those soccer players sometimes.
Yeah.
Rolling across
or
the
LeBron
ground.
James. That's a whole other story.
And the police were originally in trouble because of the tape released by these men, but then when they saw the rest of it, done an investigation, those three guys were arrested for making fake reports, and we'll see what their charges are. But the point is, you got to think of every officer every time. When they go out and write a speeding ticket, when they talk to people on the street, when they show up to respond to a fire or somebody injured, there's a camera in their face every second of every day, and that is just got to be tiresome. And in addition to all the problems we've had over the last year or more than a year now in the country, it's just decimating police departments. The numbers of retirements, resignations, transfers, especially in the big cities throughout the country, it's going to take years and years after we turn the corner to build back up, and we're nowhere near starting to turn the corner. So there's problems ahead.
All right, Rich Kolko, we always appreciate having you in studio. I appreciate you being here, getting up early. I have no idea what your daily wake-up schedule is, but I know it's always an early one when you come in, so I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592. Coming up, oh boy, we're not going to talk anymore about the Tiger thing. Glad that's done. All right, the origin of COVID, following the clues, the battle royale between Dr. Fauci, the Fauci, and Rand Paul was an interesting one yesterday. But when you have places like the New York Times and others that are saying, hold on a second, are we not allowed to talk about the origins of the China Wuhan virus? See what I just did there? Yeah, I already talked about the origins. There are some that have very interesting questions to ask, and we're going to ask those as well coming up. Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed mornings with Drew Steele. 92.5 Fox News.
Right, all along.
Pandemic, market drops, elections. Don't let the noise and fear distract you. Where do you go for clarity in uncertain times? I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's financial planner. For experience, advice on planning for retirement, visit savingtheinvestor.com.
Things seem to get more expensive as the years go by. Take groceries. Prices are up by 36%. And keeping up with your health, that's up too by 54%. But did you know at FPL what you pay for energy has gone down 10% over the last 15 years? And they're not cutting corners either. They're investing in energy that's not just the most reliable or the cleanest, but also the most affordable. See how we're keeping your bill lower than most states at fpl.com/value.
Nothing runs like a... I need something I can depend on. I need a Kubota.
At Florida Coast Equipment, we have equipment you can depend on. We have the best deals in town for Kubota tractors, mowers, utility vehicles, and Kubota construction equipment. Our family has been Florida's premier Kubota dealership for over 30 years. Whether you're buying, renting, or simply need your Kubota service, come on over to Florida Coast Equipment in Naples. Equipment you can depend on at a price you'll love. Florida Coast Equipment, we've got you covered.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach, and today I want to share my thoughts on what it means to be a Republican. Republicans believe in limiting the power of government and expanding individual freedom. Democrats want to expand government because they believe that government bureaucrats know what's best for you and your family. The expansion of government into every sphere of our personal lives would disgust our founding fathers. From crushing taxes and gun control at the federal level to the tyranny of local governments with their mask mandates, revisionist history, and sexual indoctrination of our school children, government has truly gone wild. And I'm not going to sit back and take it. I'm going to fight back, and I hope you'll join me. This is Spencer Roach, and I'm proud to be a Republican because I believe that faith and family are the center of American life, not government. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned, stay engaged, and never forget that this is your government and we work for you. Sponsored by Friends of Spencer Roach, P.O. Box 3179, North Fort Myers, Florida, 33918.
Shallow Sport and Yamaha Motors, the industry leaders, are both on display at Naples Marina. Come experience Shallow Sport powered by Yamaha only at Naples Marina, a winning combination. Naples Marina, Shallow Sport and Yamaha Power.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom, too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
Hello, Floridians. Today is a good day. Today is a good day to stay comfortable. Today is a good day to have your AC worries taken away. And it's a good day to get service backed by over 50 years of AC excellence. Oh, yes! So if you're having AC problems, get our $49 tune-up, including no breakdown guarantee, and Florida Cool Today will help you get the best from today.
Call today, cool today, FloridaCoolToday.com.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
Hey, Aaron Walker here from Naples Nissan with some good news from the factory. We've just been authorized to add all brands to the list of vehicles eligible for our trade-in offer. Yep, literally all brands qualify now. So if your 9-year-old Beamer just hit 100,000 miles, don't cry. Stop paying for expensive repairs and premium gas for that old gas-guzzling luxury brand you're driving. As long as it's a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it, bring it to Naples Nissan to get the full original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new, fuel-efficient Nissan today. Whatever your trade-in was worth when it was brand new, even if you didn't buy it new, regardless of where you bought it from, and regardless of what brand it is, that's what we'll give you for it. Get full details at naplesnissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Wyoming Congresswoman Liz Cheney today faces a vote to remove her as the third-ranking Republican in the House over her continued criticism of former President Trump.
Millions of Americans have been misled by the former president. They have heard only his words
but not the truth.
Fox's Jared Halpern.
Cheney survived a similar vote overwhelmingly in February, but House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy says rank-and-file Republicans don't believe Cheney is an effective messenger heading into next year's midterms.
And he's endorsing Elise Stefanik from New York as Cheney's replacement. More airstrikes from Israel into Gaza this morning.
Gaza's health ministry says 43 people have been killed in the raid since Monday. An apartment tower collapsed last night. In the other direction, Palestinian militants are still firing barrages of rockets toward Israel. The commercial capital of Tel Aviv was targeted yesterday evening.
Fox's Simon Owen. 6 Israelis are reported to have been killed. America's listening to Fox News.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News, traffic.
A crash involving a school bus at Lee Boulevard and Joan. The crash has moved off onto Joan from Lee Boulevard, and this is slowing traffic southbound. So go ahead and stick to Ida Avenue, which is your nearby alternate to get onto Lee Boulevard with no complaints. Now, if you're heading out of Lehigh, the place to avoid is Daniels. We are still up to speed on Colonial Boulevard. Will be a lot quicker for your morning commute if you just take Colonial to the interstate. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. Starting off warm and muggy once again, and that transitions to hot and humid. Temps in the upper 80s near the coast, low to mid 90s inland, but with a touch of additional humidity. Our feels-like temperatures will flirt with the lower 100s, so be sure to stay hydrated. Something else you will notice is areas of rain and thunderstorms starting near the coastline and I-75 early before generally trekking inland throughout the day. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel.
Drew Steele, weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
The real estate market is really hot right now, but for how long? I'm Anthony Gomes from GomesMovesHomes.com. You've heard Drew Steele talk about me on his show. If you're thinking about selling your home for a premium price, now is the time. You can sell over market value without doing repairs, letting strangers in your home, and you pick the closing date. Learn how for free. No pressure, no obligation. Go to GomesMovesHomes.com. GomesMovesHomes.com.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and we've got my friend Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters in Naples, on the phone. And Dave, I got to tell you, the selection of floor coverings of Floor Meisters, unbelievable, fantastic. I've seen it myself, and the choices are there. But what we really want to talk about today is this Dreamweaver line of carpets. Talk about it.
I'll tell you what, Drew, this is the hottest thing since 5-buckle overshoes. We're just selling the heck out of it. Comes in 9 different patterns, 12 colors to a pattern. It has 8 warranties, and it even includes steps. The stain warranty will take care of wine, mud, and even pet accidents. So this is perfect for Jake.
Yeah, perfect for Jake, and perfect for me, and perfect for you, too. If you haven't been to the Floor Meisters, really owe it to yourself to visit their store, see their selection of Dreamweaver carpets. It's there at 6281 Naples Boulevard, next to Costco. And whether it's carpet, tile, laminate, or hardwood flooring, they have it all. So give them a call today at 239-596-4964 or on the web at floormeisters.com.
Is your HR department struggling? Is payroll becoming unmanageable? What about insurance? When you track hours for dozens or perhaps even thousands of employees, Paycheck's all-in-one human resources, insurance, and payroll solutions can bring it all together. You'll have access to HR guidance, best practices, and employee tools. Get the insurance coverage you need to protect your company and competitive benefits for your employees with cost-sensitive health insurance. Mobile access to HR analytics, training, and 50 years of expertise in payroll, HR, benefits, and insurance. Paychecks can help you stay up to date on changing regulations, get recommendations, and improve employee benefit options. Paycheck's suite of next-generation HR solutions can help fine-tune your operations and assist in taking your business to the next level. Sign up today for 1 month free at paychecks.com/future.
Insurance is sold and serviced by Paycheck Insurance Agency, Inc., 150 Sawgrass Drive, Rochester, New York, 14620. California license number 0C28207.
With the Diamond District, you get the best of both worlds. Jason and Todd are wholesale diamond brokers selling to the public and jewelry stores across the country at wholesale prices. The Diamond District is also a retail store that you can visit every day and see the largest selection of GIA and Forevermark loose certified diamonds.
Dial *2020
France Eye Care.
Trey Radio, your host of The Drive here. Stop waking up and not being able to see the alarm clock. Stop messing around with contacts and glasses. Go see Dr. Jonathan Franz and his team today. They are experts at designing the right solution for you with the latest technology. I had my LASIK procedure done with them. It changed my life. So whether it's LASIK or the SMILE procedure, which is like LASIK but with a smaller incision, virtually no dry eye syndrome at all, maybe even Visian ICL. It's a replaceable lens and a reversible procedure, which gives you the peace of mind that you're looking for. France Eye Care offers it all. Right now, through the end of Memorial Day week, France Eye Care is offering all veterans, active and retired, $1,000 off the laser vision correction procedure right for your eyes. Don't compromise. Give France Eye Care a call today. Dial ** 2020 on your mobile phone.
France Eye Care.
People sometimes may wonder why they need a big law firm after their injury. Imagine you're on your way to work and then, bam, your whole life changes. You're injured and now you have to fight for justice. Your opponent is not the driver of the car that hit you. It's their insurance company. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
In the words of Martin Luther King Jr., I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Now I have a dream that we will implement love, not hate, or supporting another Jim Crow's agenda. CRT is not an honest dialogue. It is a tactic that was used by Hitler and the Ku Klux Klan on slavery very many years ago to dumb down my ancestors, so we could not think for ourselves. CRT is racist. It is abusive. It discriminates against one's color. Let me educate you. An honest dialogue does not oppress. An honest dialogue does not implement hatred or injustice. It's to communicate without deceiving people. Today, we don't need your agreement. We want action and a backbone for what we asked for today, to ban CRT. We don't want your political advertisement to divide our children or belittle them. Think twice before you indoctrinate such racist theories. You cannot tell me what is or is not racist. Look at me. I had to come down here today to tell you to your face that we are coming together and we are strong. This will not be the last. Greet and meet respectfully.
That is the Loudoun County School Board. They're meeting at the school board in Virginia where the parents aren't taking it, everybody. They're not taking it. Critical race theory, you're not going to be teaching it in our schools, and we're not going to sit around and take it. And elections have consequences, number one. And number two, you're going to need to go on the record. We need people on the record to tell us, even here in Southwest Florida, what they think about systemic racism, critical race theory where everything has to be looked critically through the lens of race, and you can make anything and everything racist, and how you have companies going woke and enough is enough. And if you really care enough, then that's what the result will be of more parents coming along and saying, this is it. We're not doing this. And they're doing it in Virginia. They're doing it in places like Texas. You realize May 1st, there was a special election that was a referendum on the efforts to impose critical race theory on the curriculum and practices of the Carroll Independent School District. They have the same problem there, everybody. They had this diversity council developed, and several students were caught on video. They were complaining about some of the things that students were saying, and the district are calling in an equity and inclusion director. You know, there's one here in Southwest Florida in our districts. Everybody has one, and reporting students on microaggressions and revising curriculums to make it more woke. Sound familiar? That's going on in Texas, and they said no. And guess what? Parents rejected the indoctrination effort. Judging by the election results, the school board candidates that were there vocally opposed the proposals of these individuals who wanted these woke policies in place, those that wanted to back the equity and inclusion directors and and telling everybody that critical race theory is here to stay, and we're going to be teaching this, and we're going to be teaching everything under the lens of racism. And if you're white, then clearly you are a racist, white privilege, white supremacy. And guess what happened? Those that vocally opposed all of that won by huge margins in the school districts. Parents had enough, and it was a referendum on it. So it's happening in Virginia. It's happening in Texas. People are seeing this. And we just need to recognize this here in Southwest Florida. And may I encourage you to do something, whether it's today or this week. I want you to get people on the record. I want you, especially when I'm hearing stories about some charter schools in Southwest Florida who would have you believe they're doing what's best for the students in the community, only to come to find out that sometimes the best for what's going on in the community turns out to be a real serious push to talk about the systemic racism and critical race theory and pushing this on their students, not by having classes that specifically talk about it like they do in FGCU and a college professor who's doing that there and those kind of stories that we're hearing about. But no, I'm not talking about that specific curriculum. I'm talking about infiltrating it into the school because the teachers believe it, and so they use it in their curriculum to teach kids, and they introduce it as if to say, this is just the way it is. This is the way society is right now, everybody. This is the past that we're not recognizing. And I'm telling you that you 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 10 years old, that this is the way it is. And then the kids go home, and maybe they don't talk about that to their parents, but you see, that's what indoctrination is. When somebody says you're being indoctrinated, it's not just indoctrination of curriculum that's teaching about these things. It's also the teachers, the individuals who specifically believe this, and then that is part of what they do in their daily life. They incorporate all this as if it's a given. And that's how you kids get indoctrinated. So I would encourage you. We need to get people on record. Collier County, Lee County, charter schools, principals. You need to hear from them. What do you think about systemic racism being taught, white privilege, white supremacy, and CRT? I want an answer. Where do you stand? Do you believe that there is white privilege? Do you believe in white supremacy that exists, that every individual that is white, or even the idea of critical race theory? I want to know specifically where you stand on the record. Tell me to my face and see what they do. And see if they'll lie to you. And especially when there are kids in the schools that need to come home and tell their parents. You need to come home and tell your parents what you're learning and what they're saying. Because there are many teachers in schools, and look, it's not every single one, but certainly there are teachers that don't want you to know how they're teaching your kids. They don't want you to know. There are school board members that don't want you to know what they feel deep inside, and maybe on camera they'll say something that's real nice, but off camera they're saying things to people behind your back that they won't say to your face. And we just need to know. So good for those teachers. Good for those parents, excuse me. And look, good for teachers. Look, if you're a teacher in any of the schools in Southwest Florida, can I just make a recommendation? Just like, and here's part of the wokeness here, right? Just like we're being told that painting with a broad brush against police departments being systemically racist, which is a flat out lie, and they're not. And if you're going to be honest, that there is always a bad apple among you, where you might say to police officers, look, here's what you do. Help to weed out those that are the problem. If you know somebody who is a problem, don't let them be the ones to help to paint the broad brush. Get them out of the system. Just get them out. Call them out and have those individuals, the problems, called out specifically. I don't have a problem with that. Would you? I would make the same case with teachers. Look, if you're listening to me and you're insulted because you're in no way, shape, or form somebody who believes in critical race theory or white privilege, or you're not going to teach kids that and you don't make it part of the curriculum, but you know somebody who does, maybe you need to call them out. Maybe you need to call out who those teachers are and let people know, let me know, let the community know that these people are doing this, that this is happening. that they're using this to teach your kids. It's about time. 239-479-5592. I get concerned about that, and I hope you do as well, because we're still dealing with that here. All right, what else are we dealing with? Oh, boy, a lot of other things. Where do we want to go? Do we want... Oh, all right, I know. It's after a subject like that. All right. I'll just give you a little nugget. Here's your morning cup of joe.
Sit back with your morning cup of joe.
Not a joke. And to help us get there, we've added 2 new tools. One, Americans can go to vaccines.gov, or they can text their zip code to their zip code, text it to 438829.
Hey, can we just keep the president of the United States away from teleprompters, websites, numbers? Can we just keep him away from things? Because clearly, every time somebody wants him to read off a teleprompter, a website and a number, he's just clueless. He doesn't know what to do. I don't know what it is. He can't see numbers. He can't make them big. Get him one of those books. The big books that they make, big giant letters. Maybe do something where you have a teleprompter that just, you ever see, the memes and stuff where you just have, or commercials where there's just words flashing. I want to tell you about this fantastic new item. Like, just do the words like, you know what I'm saying? Jake, you ever see that? You ever see a commercial or something where they say, you need to get this exercise bike right now. And then you'll see the words pop up on the screen that says, right now, big letters, right? Boom, boom. Why don't we do that for the president? Why don't we just make a teleprompter that just says, I want to tell you about the latest. Okay, yeah, don't do it by syllables, because that'll mess him up too. You ever see that? What? I'm trying to help. You don't see that as helpful, do you?
No, I think he's gonna get it's too fast for him.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe put the pancake breakfast special in front of him. Maybe that'll help. Off to the side.
You might be onto something there.
No, I'm not. 239-479-5592. You know who's onto something? Rand Paul. Rand Paul is just getting under the Fauci's skin. Why is he getting under the Fauci's skin? Maybe it's because we feel too oftentimes like when it comes to COVID, the vid, the Chinese coronavirus, the China coronavirus. I know you can't say that kind of thing. It's the China coronavirus. Can you say that? The China Wuhan virus? Am I allowed to say that? Other people are saying that. I'm just repeating what other people are saying. Don't take me down Facebook or YouTube, by the way, at Drew Steele Radio if you want to watch. It's still there. And you can go to the website, drewsteele.com, Steele has 3 E's. The China Wuhan coronavirus started there, or did it? Rand Paul just has a lot of questions to ask. And it seems like the Fauci doesn't want to give him a lot of the answers, especially when it comes to the more than ample amount of information that's out there that would suggest that there are labs that are taking something in the wild, like a bat, and bringing it into the lab and taking a virus and then manipulating that so that it can be used, biologically for warfare, or to be able to manipulate it so that they understand the way it's going to be used so that you can study it and possibly have, you know how it goes. More and more people questioning what's going on there. And here's Rand Paul, who's questioning the Fauci about that and paying money and gain of function. Gain of function, meaning gaining function of a virus to control it, to be able to manipulate it, to be useful for your use, which I'm not sure is a positive, but here we go.
Government scientists like yourself who favor gain-of-function research.
I don't favor gain-of-function research in China. You are saying things that are not correct.
Government defenders of gain-of-function, such as yourself, say that COVID-19 mutations were random and not designed by man. But interestingly, the technique that Dr. Barrick developed forces mutations by serial passage through cell culture that the mutations appear to be natural. In fact, Dr. Barrick named the technique the no-see-em technique because the mutations appear naturally. Nicholas Baker of the New York Magazine said nobody would know if the virus had been fabricated in a laboratory or grown in nature. Government authorities in the U.S., including yourself, unequivocally deny that COVID-19 could have escaped a lab. But even Dr. Shi in Wuhan wasn't so sure. According to Nicholas Baker, Dr. Shi wondered, could this new virus have come from her own laboratory? She checked her records frantically and found no matches. That really took a load off my mind, she said. I had not slept for days. The director of the gain-of-function research in Wuhan couldn't sleep because she was terrified that it might be in her lab.
That's kind of an issue, right? So the question becomes...
Dr. Barrick, an advocate of gain-of-function research, admits the main problem that the Institute of Virology has is the outbreak occurred in close proximity. What are the odds? Barrick responded, could you rule out a laboratory escape? The answer in this case is probably not. Will you, in front of this group, categorically say that the COVID-19 could not have occurred through serial passage in a laboratory?
I do not have any accounting of what the Chinese may have done, and I'm fully in favor of any further investigation of what went on in China. However, I will repeat again, the NIH and NIAID categorically has not funded gain-of-function research to be conducted in the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
You do support it in the U.S. We have 11 labs doing it, and you have allowed it here. We have a committee to do it, but the committee has granted every exemption.
Yeah, they go back and forth, and it just gets ugly, and I'll play more audio coming up from this. But there are people that are questioning the origins, and even when I go back to, and yes, you can hit the, we're going to get ready to go now. But even when you go back to some paperwork that I was just talking about off the air, about the virus and the origins where people are starting to question this. Do you realize that in 2020, think about where we are now, in February of 2020, virologists got together and say, it absolutely did not come from a lab there in Wuhan. No, it was natural causes. In February of 2020, how do you make that statement? A group of virologists got together. How could you possibly do that? Think about February 2020, and here we are right now, and everybody... We're going to play more from that. You're not going to believe the back and forth between the two of them. All right, 239-479-5592. Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you're in a PhD. Caller number 5 right now at 239-479-5592. You'll play Drew's College next. Daybreak, 92.5. Fox News right all along with traffic. Here is Sabrina Katz.
A crash at Daniels near I-75 with a lane blocked is slightly delaying traffic. It's not a major backup. We do have a crash at Metro near Crystal as you're heading southbound on Metro towards Crystal. Just a tap on those brakes to make sure everyone stays safe. And if you are in Lehigh, the crash at Lee Boulevard in Joan still blocking parts of Joan. Ida is up to speed heading southbound to Lee. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. Warm, muggy, and a few areas of fog this morning. Transitions to a hot, humid afternoon with areas of rain and thunderstorms, especially inland across Southwest Florida. One change I do want to note especially is with temperatures in the low to mid-90s and a little bit more humidity this afternoon. Our feels like temperatures will once again flirt with the triple digits. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
At FPL, we're always looking the future straight in the eye. When the future said cut back on foreign oil, we made way for clean, American-made natural gas. And when the future said we need more clean energy, we said, how about 30 million solar panels by 2030? And when it said we need zero carbon emissions, we said, okay, how about green hydrogen? That's energy made from water. We're planning, preparing, and investing because Florida deserves an energy future we can depend on. See how at fpl.com/value.
Getting older has its advantages. Early bird dinners, senior discounts, day drinking. If you're one of the millions turning 65 soon, it might be time to take a look at your insurance options. Original Medicare, Medicare Advantage, so much to keep in mind. At Millennium Physician Group, half our patients are 65 plus. No matter what insurance benefits you choose, make sure your Millennium primary care doctor is part of your plan and your connection to a healthier life. Millennium Physician Group. Connect today. 844-CALL-MPG. MillenniumPhysician.com.
Political knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Ryan in Fort Myers. There's Ryan right there. Look at you. Hey, Ryan.
Hey.
Oh, hey. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD or associate's degree question. So it starts right now. Ronald Reagan served as the 33rd governor of what state before he was president?
California.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got associates. We'll see if we get a bachelor's degree on this question. Why does the flag have 13 stripes?
13 colonies.
Yeah, that is correct, sir. All right, you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. True or false? Hillary Clinton was once a Republican, even campaigning for Barry Goldwater in 1964.
That would be false.
No, that's true. That
really?
Is, oh, look at this. You learned something right there. Yeah.
How did Saul Walesnky and Barry Goldwater
Well, there's a whole story. You should check that out. Read about it. It's interesting what happened. So there you go. All right, well, let's see if we get a master's degree on this question. Let's see. Let's go with this theme. Why not? Nancy Reagan was famous for a phrase she used to talk about to keep kids away from drugs and alcohol. What was that famous phrase of Nancy Reagan?
Just say niet.
Just say no. Can we accept the Russian version? Jake's not even sure. Niet.
Just say no.
Yeah, just say no. Don't ask. Jake is like, I don't even know what that means. It's okay. All right, congratulations. You got yourself a master's degree today on Drew's College, and you learned something today. And that's what it's all about, Ryan. It's all about learning. It's all about togetherness, and it's always all about Jake, which is just, if you're here in the studio, you realize that more and more each and every day. Well, listen, I hope you have a great day. You off to work? Where are you going?
On the way to drop the girl off at school.
All right, that's an excellent thing. All right, say hello to the girl. Is that her name, the girl? You should do. That's an awful thing to do to a child. Okay.
Elizabeth.
Yeah,
Elizabeth.
yeah. It's an awful thing to do to a child. What's her name? The girl. No, yeah, I know the girl.
Elizabeth.
What's her name? It's like an old. It's like
Elizabeth.
I know. It's like an Abbott and Costello. Who's on first? I don't know. Third base. Okay, thanks.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Had a chance to visit A Locksmith, their showroom in North Naples. And Andrew is the owner. He is a fantastic guy. Get a chance to talk to him. He's a former police officer and an expert on home security. Maybe you have some needs like a safe, a Liberty safe. They are the only Liberty safe dealer in Collier County. And I don't know if you know, but A Locksmith is the oldest locksmith in Collier County and comes with a stellar reputation for professional quality and service. Their staff licensed, bonded, and insured and available. And 100% satisfaction is always guaranteed. Their employees are great. No contractors. They have all their employees there, and they are always professional, on time, serving Collier and Southern Lee counties. So if you're looking for your next Liberty safe, you want to go to A Locksmith. They have 2 Naples showroom, one in North Naples, across from Mercado, and one in the city of Naples, just north of Mooring Line Drive on US 41. Or if you want to find out more, visit alocksmithnaples.com.
What makes Genesis of Naples the #1 selling Genesis dealer in the nation? It's our incredible selection and professional sales staff. Hi, I'm Sheila Zellers, owner of Genesis of Naples. When I drive my beautiful new 2021 Genesis GV80 around town, the first thing everyone says to me is, what is that beautiful SUV? I tell them it's the all-new first ever SUV from Genesis. Then they usually ask, how much does it cost? I know it's hard to believe, but it starts at just $49,500 and the fully equipped Prestige for just over $70,000. It has an amazing interior and breathtaking design and your choice of turbo engines in rear and all-wheel drive. But that's not all. New 2021 Genesis G70s have 0% financing and 72 months plus $1,000 cash back. And we have a huge selection of the all-new 2021 Genesis G80s and G90s. Come visit Genesis of Naples on Airport Road or genesisofnaples.com.
All offers with approved credit on select models based on January 2021 retail sales. 72 months of $0 per month per 1,000 finance. No down payment required.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
Republicans may vote against a Republican. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Liz Cheney
spoke truth to power, and now they're firing her.
Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer ahead of a House GOP meeting that starts this hour that may strip Congresswoman Cheney from a leadership post as she keeps speaking out against former President Trump. Fox's Rachel Sutherland has more live.
Dave, Congresswoman Liz Cheney is expected to lose her position as Republican conference chair after a closed-door secret ballot vote. During a speech on the House floor last night, the Wyoming Republican pushed back on former President Trump's claim that the 2020 election was stolen from him.
He continues to undermine our democratic process, sowing seeds of doubt about whether democracy really works at all.
Congresswoman Elise Stefanik of New York could replace Cheney, but not all Republicans are on board. Congressman Chip Roy has said Stefanik's voting record has not been reliably conservative. Dave?
Rachel, the GOP leaders of the House and Senate will meet with President Biden this morning, along with Congress's top Democrats, to discuss infrastructure and maybe gas shortages related to that cyber attack that hit Colonial Pipeline.
The lines are getting long. The prices are rising. The percentage of gas stations in the South without gas as of midnight, 16% in North Carolina, 10% in Georgia and Virginia, over 8% in South Carolina, and almost 3.5% in Florida.
Fox's Griff Jenkins, the Energy Secretary, has urged people not to hoard gas, saying the pipeline's operations could be back by the end of the week. Israelis and Palestinians keep battling with another barrage of airstrikes hitting Gaza and rockets fired into Israel.
We are standing near Tel Aviv in Yehud, right by a house that was destroyed overnight. That really does give a sense of some of the randomness and the horror that people are living on both sides.
Fox's Amy Kellogg, 6 Israelis have been killed. More than 40 Palestinians have died since Monday, 13 of them children. America's listening to Fox News.
Wink News, traffic.
A crash at Daniels near I-75 with a lane blocked is slightly delaying traffic. It's not a major backup. We do have a crash at Metro near Crystal as you're heading southbound on Metro towards Crystal. Just a tap on those brakes to make sure everyone stays safe. And if you are in Lehigh, the crash at Lee Boulevard in Joan still blocking parts of Joan. Ida is up to speed heading southbound to Lee. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. Starting off warm and muggy once again, and that transitions to hot and humid. Temps in the upper 80s near the coast, low to mid 90s inland, but with a touch of additional humidity. Our feels-like temperatures will flirt with the lower 100s, so be sure to stay hydrated. Something else you will notice is areas of rain and thunderstorms starting near the coastline and I-75 early before generally trekking inland throughout the day. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
We need to get back to the times when you could agree to disagree and help your neighbors.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is the Florida window factory. Our windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, because we understand Florida weather. With New South Windows, you don't have to sacrifice energy efficiency for storm protection. Our Energy Star rated windows and doors are made with impact and non-impact options, giving you the best of both worlds. New South Window, home of your ultimate Florida window.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts up to 30%. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
You'd think an Army veteran with a military career, including multiple combat deployments throughout the Middle East, would be a great American. And you'd be right. But Joe Vanderbosch also happens to be a great dentist. An Army veteran of 8 years, Dr. Joe now makes his home in Southwest Florida, where his wife Sarah grew up.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch, Freedom Dental on Metro Parkway in Fort Myers. In the Army, I received extra training in order to provide dental care in virtually any condition. That's why I can manage many dental treatments without the need to refer to a specialist. I served my country proudly for 8 years. Now I want to serve you in your dental needs. Special discounts for former and active military without dental insurance.
Dr. Vanderbosch provides emergency care and is now accepting new patients for cleaning, extractions, crowns, implants, and more. Find them online at freedomdentalfortmyers.com. That's freedomdentalfortmyers.com. Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch. Go to freedomdentalfortmyers.com. You probably know Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano for car accidents and other personal injury matters. But did you know they have attorneys who specialize in many other areas of the law? Whether you're in need of creating or updating your will and testament, or need advice about divorce or child custody, they have an attorney for you. And unlike the all-too-familiar competitors, at Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano, you'll be meeting directly with the attorney handling your matter, not some coordinator or case manager looking to increase their numbers. Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano. They've been serving you for over 35 years. Have a family law question? Are you seeking a divorce or have child custody issues you need resolved? Do you need assistance with dividing property? At Lusk, Draysites, and Tolosano, their attorneys can walk you through this difficult process as the needed advocate to protect your legal rights. They've been here for you in the past, they're here today, and will be here for you tomorrow. LDTlaw.com. Offices Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Naples.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Dan Martineau from D.R. Martineau Roofing. Storm season is approaching. Avoid complications with your insurance company. Sign up for our free pre-season and post-season roof assessment plan. Just Google DRM Roofing.
License number CCC 1326954.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Being involved in a legal dispute can leave you feeling like you've lost control. I'm Eli Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Understanding the law and the rules of evidence can mean the difference between winning or losing your case. If you are involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. So glad you're here. 239-479-5592. The talk and text line streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. If you would like to watch the program, we always appreciate that you would do that. And yes, for the time being, I know we're on YouTube and Facebook at Drew Steele Radio. It just depends on what we're talking about, whether or not there might be a dip in viewership or maybe a thing that may be pulled down or two. Hey, we've witnessed that. We've had that happen before. I mean, we certainly wouldn't imagine that it would have anything to do with the discussion about cybersecurity, infrastructure security, some of the things that have been mentioned about, I don't know, keeping an eye on maybe what's going on with certain businesses that may or may not be crucial to the infrastructure of the country, to the point that if that business were to go down because of a hack, that you could have long gas lines, you might possibly have a situation where gas stations would run out of fuel. I mean, that would never happen in our... So about that, we probably should talk a little bit more about the cybersecurity issue. Kara Frederick is joining us right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. She is a research fellow at the Heritage Foundation, heritage.org. She led counterterrorism programs at Facebook, spent 6 years as a counterterrorism analyst at the DOD. And there's a lot there. First of all, it's Drew Steele. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. How are you today?
Of course. Thanks for having me. You know, I'm not in the gas line, so I'm good, but that's coming down during the week. So I'll be less good then.
I know. And again, you know, when you get to this, we're gonna get into more detail about that. But boy, you know, when you hear about the country in some way, shape, or form being affected to that degree, where a hack of individuals that were told that their thing is like, listen, it's not even about politics. We just want money. Just pay us. When it comes to something right like that, you think, all right, what's going on here? You got a couple of kids in their basement that are just having some fun? Or is this like something that we've got to look at where it's countries that are up to no good and don't want us to be up to any good? And so that's what this is all part of. You know, as you see this, right, the 30,000-foot level, first, let's just start with the pipeline and everything. You know, what are your thoughts, even when it comes to private businesses being able to secure?
Yep, I think we need to take a multifaceted approach. So you mentioned kids in the basement, you mentioned nation states. Now the strategic intentions of those nation state actors, of for-profit cyber criminals, of hacktivists, increasingly intertwined. So that really heightens the potential for chaos. And we're seeing a little bit of it now. So what happened was on Monday, the FBI confirmed that there was a group of cyber criminals. They call themselves the Dark Side. This is a relatively new group, likely based in Eastern Europe, possibly even in Russia. And they took ransomware and basically installed malicious software on Colonial Pipeline's corporate systems. So in simplest terms, ransomware is it's malware that locks until the victim pays money to regain access. And we've seen this happen a lot in the past 2 years. Established tactics include holding a user's data hostage and trying to get a few $100s in Bitcoin. Attackers are making use of new ransomware strains that infect entire organizations and companies, as you mentioned. So those demands are more than a few $100s in Bitcoin. They become things like $50K per attack. We've seen them hit hospitals. We've seen them hit other areas and infrastructure that rely on access to data to keep services running. This big disruptive event on U.S. energy infrastructure, this is huge. And I do think, it's not just like the Twitter hack, some teenager in his mom's basement. It's a group that is implicitly sort of sanctioned by a nation state. And in this case, most likely Russia. Other cybersecurity experts talk specifically about this spectrum of national responsibility. And we know that these groups of really pretty decent cyber operatives are operating with not necessarily the explicit imprimatur of a nation state, but they're there with tacit approval. Russia pretty much knows that these cyber criminals operate within their borders or on some of using the tactics that they taught them if they were former military or people who had previously worked within their systems with actual nation state representation. So Russia is aware that they're happening. They like the effects, chaos in the United States, so they're going to let it keep happening. And we need to impose costs on Russia when it comes to that.
Right. So, one of the things I take away from what you were just talking about is, boy, you just opened up a vulnerability there. They're asking for Bitcoin. Everybody knows it's Dogecoin, right? I mean, Kara, there's a vulnerability we can know. But in all seriousness, though, when I bring that up, and that's terrible that I'm stereotyping kids in basements who are doing things and hacking, but it brought up another question that I talked to some people in the newsroom about, and maybe you can address this, and even with your time at Facebook, and it's this. When we look at this situation, there are so many people that say to me, why are we not doing something in response with the best and the brightest in the country that are under the guise of the DOD to say, look, I don't care. How much do you want? Money is not even an object. If I've got to pay you millions of dollars, a kid who's studied code and in the basement and has this expertise, because these kids look at it, I say kids, but people look at it like it's a game. I mean, it's fun for them, hackers going after other hackers. I mean, they have conferences built around hacking. So we know it's like a game to them. Why can't we do that? Or do we already have that in the DOD? Or like Facebook, did they have that built in where they had people that were like, look, this is your job. Go out there, have fun, go find the hackers and hack them and get their information so that we can find out more about them. Is that even being done?
So on the DOD side, absolutely. And this is on the heels of the Trump administration really relaxing a lot of the restrictions that were put in place on offensive cyber operations. And I'm not talking about, offensive information operations. The U.S. is traditionally pretty bad at that. But when it comes to actually these hard cyber operations, we in Cyber Command, their vision statement included the idea of tactical friction, which means make it harder for the enemy to do what they do, and then defending forward. So that means getting in their systems if you can and preventing from doing something brought on by a nation state like this. So we do have some really, really great people, these programmers who are, have those computer science degrees from Stanford, everyone that you would sort of want on the problem to. A lot of that talent, though, like you said, is in the private sector. And when I was at Facebook, I dealt with counterterrorism analysis. So our whole thing was to take all the publicly available information, see how terrorists behave on a digital platform, and improve our platform-based reactions in that way. So we weren't involved. My group wasn't involved in any sort of offensive operations. I don't think a corporation necessarily, I could be ignorant, but from my experience, I didn't experience anybody doing that, but they want to make money again. They're concerned about their bottom line, not necessarily the national security of the United States. But in terms of DOD, in terms of that tactical friction, that defending forward. There were some pretty famous cases where we got in there and we disrupted Russia's efforts, ISIS's efforts to propagate nefarious content on platforms and mess with our elections and whatnot a few years ago. David Sanger in the New York Times chronicles those operations. So we're doing it. We should do it better. I think we should do more of it. We should impose costs on those nations that are responsible for harboring these cyber criminals and sort of giving them the wink, wink, nudge, nudge, do what you can do. So I just think we need to see more of it. We need to impose those costs on our enemies.
Yeah, that's going to end up being one of the issues that this administration is going to have to deal with. And quite honestly, administrations into the future, the president saying he's going to talk to Putin about this. But then at the same time, how do you tell whether or not the hacker is somehow being, I guess, giving them safe harbor is, I guess, all there is that where they're located. How do you know where they're located? And then whether or not that country is doing that, is that going to be enough to do what in response? Like, what do you end up doing politically in response? There's always that question. But then, Kara, even the bigger question, and you've addressed this, and because many people say, all right, look, we get it. We got a problem. The pipeline gets shut down, whether or not it's a private entity or a public entity. We certainly hear about all of this. But come on now, all of these years, all of the times that we hear about this, whether it's a local hospital or something getting or a county commission getting ransomware and they have to pay it because of what's going on there, or even the electrical grid and how many times we've heard about the issues of that. What do we do now with technology? What's next up? Like, what would be new technologies that we could put in place to do something to stop this? What about that?
Great question. So I think thinking about that in the context of this fact that by 2025, almost 5 billion people will have access to the web. Thinking about it in that context, you're right. We need to do something that's just beyond putting our finger in the dike. So there needs to be that multifaceted approach. And when you talk about technology, there has to be a combination of defense and offense in that way. And transparency is a big deal. I think we need to make sure that these companies provide incident reports to the public. So that's not just technology, but it's all encompassing. You're not just talking technical solutions here. If you do want to talk about technical solutions, then that means we have to harden our digital security. So 80 to 90% of U.S. critical infrastructure, it's privately owned. These companies have to assume that they're going to be targeted, and they have to have a plan in place to respond. They need to continuously evaluate and shore up their defenses. They need to invest in cybersecurity, those new defenses and technical solutions, like you said, that are coming down the line. Their operations software. Individual Americans need to think about it too. Always back up your data. My dad's a pilot. He says never miss an opportunity to get gas or use the restroom. Never miss an opportunity to back up your data. Update your software. And then there are some interesting technical solutions, finally getting to your question, where private sector engineers have crafted programs like in Europol, they have a No More Ransom initiative, which uses a bank of decryption tools to help retrieve data. So it helps these companies really improve their toolkits. So there are technical solutions. There are things that companies need to do. People talk about information sharing in the cyber world. People say information sharing is the thoughts and prayers of, our political discourse. But it's true. We really need to help these companies share information with the government when they've been attacked. They need to publicize information about cyber breaches. Yes, we need to protect their proprietary information as well, but they need to learn from each other and share that information with the government when it happens so we can do better the next time. And there will be a next time.
Yeah. And so the last question I'll ask, and it's my producer who's big into this area. So he's asking the question, then is it possible that the answer for better security is the blockchain?
I'm pretty bullish on the blockchain and these areas where you can, make sure that chains of custody are spoken for. And, I think the encryption debates are really interesting as well. I just wrote something with Richard Fontanian in the Wall Street Journal this past week about privacy-preserving technologies. So it's the same kind of concept, that decentralization. Right. I really think, years ago, I would have laughed at you if you said blockchain, but I really think there are some really interesting strides and developments being made. I think we need to think more seriously about integrating it into, any technology that we can.
Yeah, because that was a big argument, not an argument, but a discussion early on when people were talking about Bitcoin, and I don't understand, and I don't get what it is, and it doesn't make any sense. And then you would explain, well, it's the blockchain. Well, what's the blockchain? I don't understand. The whole idea behind the blockchain was a secure network from peer to peer. That was the big discussion. It was all about security. It was also, that's why people always complained about the transfer of funds by people with nefarious ideas in countries and entities, and the fact that if they're using Bitcoin to exchange, well, it's hard to track, it's hard to trace because of the security side of that. Well, that could be used as a plus as well to say, well, we could use this same system for securities like this, and ones that we can't afford to have knocked offline, so to speak. So I wonder if that's maybe the next big venture point, I guess.
Yeah. The more you can layer security, the better.
You better. And that's how we ended, Kara. That's perfect. Just like that. All right, Kara Frederick joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Great stuff. Research fellow at the Heritage Foundation, heritage.org. And we do appreciate it. Hey, we got to do this again. This was great. Thanks so much. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll see you.
Having you.
There you go. She said, great having you. Well, it's funny because we had her. I know what she meant. What do you... Well, you said the same thing. Why don't you stop? All right. 239-479-5592. Look, we're just trying to have fun with the situation. Especially with what's going on with gas prices, and it's not a shortage, everybody. It's just a little baby thing that's going on with gas right now. And Jennifer Granholm talking about, don't worry, it's not the era of Carter coming back again. Yes, it is. Yeah, we have to play some of the outrageous statements from the energy secretary. It's just a supply crunch, little thing, like Captain Crunch, the greatest breakfast cereal ever made. That and Quisp. All right, let's find out what's happening with we'll do a remainder of the forecast later on. We need to do traffic right now. It's Sabrina Katz.
A crash on Immokalee Road just near 951 is delaying traffic for 3 miles heading westbound. What you can do to avoid this if you're heading out of Immokalee or Ave Maria, you can stick to Wilson, take Wilson to Golden Gate Boulevard, and make your way to 951 that route. Also, southbound delays continue in Bonita on Old 41 towards Bonita Beach Road. We do have that creep and crawl delay on Daniels Parkway west of 82 all the way to Gateway Boulevard. The crash in Lehigh finally cleared at Lee Boulevard and Joan. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. Warm, muggy, and a few areas of fog this morning. Transitions to a hot, humid afternoon with areas of rain and thunderstorms, especially inland across Southwest Florida. One change I do want to note especially is with temperatures in the low to mid-90s and a little bit more humidity this afternoon. Our feels like temperatures will once again flirt with the triple digits. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
True relief for back and neck pain. In my office, Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, every day I talk with patients that for so many years just suffered with back or neck pain. Many just assuming that it was normal or something they had to live with. They'd tried injections, epidurals, or even surgery with no success, always looking for a chair to relieve pain or always dreading pain while sleeping or getting out of bed. It's time to treat the root of the problem. Please don't think there are no other options. You can overcome problems from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, bulging degenerative discs, or scoliosis. Non-surgical spinal decompression can change your life. Think of how much happier you'd be without pain. This Medicare-friendly treatment combines science and technology to offer a state-of-the-art, non-surgical procedure that is remarkably effective. We always offer a free telephone consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate for spinal decompression. Johnston Spinal Care, we're here for you. Call 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Where do designers store their clients' furniture when doing an estate home remodel?
Rice's Moving and Transport in Naples, with over 10,000 square feet of air-conditioned storage space. Designers use Rice's Moving and Transport for one reason: trust. They know Rice's Moving team will pad wrap and inspect all articles carefully, then securely store them. Contractors use Rice's during a remodel to store customers' personal items too. Upon completion, everything is then returned to your home, completely unpacked and carefully reassembled. Another important point to consider when selecting a mover is this: only a handful of moving companies actually follow all the laws. Many moving companies simply pay employees in cash. This creates an issue for you as they are not insured. If there's an accident, you're responsible. So if you're planning a whole home or condo remodel, or need help moving and storing your treasured furniture and valuables, trust Rice's Moving and Transport, fully licensed and insured for your peace of mind. Rice'sMoving.net, moving you into the future.
Hey, it's Jake DeMolino here from Daybreak to talk about AMCO of Bonita Springs. Everyone's been affected by the pandemic, and I was definitely no exception. But here's the thing. I had an issue, a well-known issue, a lot of you know about. Kevin and Todd came to the rescue, effectively giving me my life back. They put their expertise to work on my transmission that was completely shot. His master mechanic told me that it was probably the worst transmission he's seen in his 30 years of working. And let me tell you, he knocked it out of the park. He helped me, and I'm sure he can help you as well. AMCO of Bonita Springs has been trusted in Southwest Florida since 2008. They've been through pandemics, recessions, you name it. They're located right off of Burnwood Drive in Bonita, an independent, conservative AMCO dealer whose award-winning customer service speaks for itself. They work on all makes and models, and they don't just do transmissions. They can do oil changes, normal maintenance, tires, you name it. For those of you out there with classic cars, there's no one I could trust more than Kevin and Todd with something I know you cherish and is so near and dear to you. So give Kevin and Todd a call at AMCO of Bonita Springs. 239-992-2626. 239-992-2626.
It's really a good feeling to know that when it comes to your house and all the water that is in every faucet, every place in your home, that you don't have to worry about the water smelling like chlorine or messing up your shower glass, your faucets, right, with that hard water staining, the drying out of your skin and your hair. Just imagine what that would be like. You don't have to imagine it. You can just do it. You call the Uniform Pentair Water Specialist. They can find out what's going on with your water and handle your city or well water issues. Yours, right here in Southwest Florida. With their mobile showroom, you can see for yourself that Pentair has both high-performance salt systems and salt-free solutions, too. And salt-free means no lugging in bags of salt for you, and that they can install that Pentair water system for you as well. You're going to love the way your water tastes from every faucet and the peace of mind that only a Pentair water system can give you. So call now and get your free digital Pentair water test. Save 15% on your whole home water system by calling 239-880-7799. That's 239-880-7799, or book online at PelicanWestFL.com.
Hello, Floridians. Today is a good day. Today is a good day to stay comfortable. Today is a good day to have your AC worries taken away. And it's a good day to get service backed by over 50 years of AC excellence. Oh, yes. So if you're having AC issues, get a new Carrier system and save up to $2,000 in rebates, plus 6 months no payments. And Florida Cool Today will help you get the best from today.
Call today, cool today, FloridaCoolToday.com.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
The Nautical Expo at the Lee County Civic Center, May 15th and 16th, features an utterly amazing powered patented catamaran, the beautifully built Craig Cat. The 11-foot Craig Cat has big boat features like side-by-side seating, a fantastic stereo system, great lighting, bimini top, and many accessories to fit your style of boating. Plus, it's a lot of fun and easy to operate with quality that will knock your socks off. Look for the Craig Cat booths on the right as you walk in. Online at craigcat.com or call 1-833-CRAIGCAT.
She's been shopping for months to make sure that when she walks, people are always looking at her feet. Italian, classic, modern, she had to find the perfect look. And when her friends come and visit, their gaze always goes down to admire her floors.
Get your floors noticed. GC Flooring Boutique for indoor and outdoor living. View GC Flooring's extensive stone, mosaic, vinyl, wood, and tile. Your Leño Bastone Gallery on JNC Boulevard. GCFlooringofNaples.com.
I've been asked, did you plan on becoming the largest injury law firm in the world? And the answer is no. We set out to be focused on our clients and to have a commitment to trying cases and winning. And when you have those results at trial, you're able to settle most of your cases quickly and fairly. Hard work and client satisfaction was our plan. It worked. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. You know the real estate market's really hot right now, but for how long? Well, nobody really knows. I mean, if people don't catch up on their mortgage payments because of COVID, the market's going to get flooded with foreclosure inventory, and that's scary because your home's value could plummet. So if you thought about selling your home for a premium price, now's the time to do it. But you don't want to make any costly mistakes. That's why you need to get with Anthony Gomes from GomesMovesHomes.com. See, he's been buying, selling, brokering, and investing in real estate for over 20 years. Mistakes in real estate can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Anthony wrote a book on how to sell homes, your home, and for the most money. And he wants to ship it to you for free. Just go to GomesMovesHomes.com and tell him where you want to send it. Inside, you'll gain 20 years of secrets from wealthy home sellers on how you can sell for a premium price without doing repairs, letting strangers go through your home, and you could pick the closing date. Go to GomesMovesHomes.com. Again, GomesMovesHomes.com.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. House Republicans meet behind closed doors ahead of a vote on removing Wyoming Congresswoman Liz Cheney from party leadership. She's continued to speak out against President Trump's claims that the election was stolen from him.
As he continues to undermine our democratic process, sowing seeds of doubt about whether democracy really works at all.
Congresswoman Cheney on the House floor last night. She's the third-ranking Republican in the House, elected the party's conference chair 2 years ago. A federal judge in Texas rules the National Rifle Association may not file for bankruptcy and reincorporate there to avoid a lawsuit filed by the state of New York.
Lawyers for the Democratic Attorney General called the bankruptcy a circus sideshow, arguing NRA leaders used it to escape accountability for corruption and financial mismanagement. Attorneys for the NRA argue the bankruptcy is a legitimate effort to avoid a lawsuit that the group claims is politically motivated.
Fox's Steve Rappaport. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News, traffic.
A crash on Immokalee Road just near 951 is delaying traffic for 3 miles heading westbound. What you can do to avoid this if you're heading out of Immokalee or Ave Maria, you can stick to Wilson, take Wilson to Golden Gate Boulevard, and make your way to 951 that route. Also, southbound delays continue in Bonita on Old 41 towards Bonita Beach Road. We do have that creep and crawl delay on Daniels Parkway west of 82 all the way to Gateway Boulevard. The crash in Lehigh finally cleared at Lee Boulevard in Joan. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. Starting off warm and muggy once again, and that transitions to hot and humid. Temps in the upper 80s near the coast, low to mid-90s inland, but with a touch of additional humidity. Our feels-like temperatures will flirt with the lower 100s, so be sure to stay hydrated. Something else you will notice is areas of rain and thunderstorms starting near the coastline and I-75 early before generally trekking inland throughout the day. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees.
Southwest Florida's place to talk about
coronavirus. It's on the police.
Everything.
Give me liberty or give me COVID-19.
92.5 Fox News.
Hi, it's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes. They say love and passion makes the world go round. Love for home, family, your country, partner, a friend, and love for food. Stevie wants to be part of your love with our food, drink, sports, and fun. Our passion for your satisfaction brings our love to all of our great customers. Whether it's our brisket short rib burgers, Chicago pizza, fajitas, wings, fish fry, or ribs, it's delivered to your table with love. So at Stevie's, we invite you to share our love of great food, drinks, sports, and fun. You'll never get bored or broke. We feel loved by the sound of our great customers. We promise to treat you like family at your home away from home. I guarantee it. For daily specials, go to StevieTomato.com. Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page, Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. Come, come, come.
Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food. Stay for the sports.
Getting older has its advantages. Early bird dinners, senior discounts, day drinking. If you're one of the millions turning 65 soon, it might be time to take a look at your insurance options. Original Medicare, Medicare Advantage, so much to keep in mind. At Millennium Physician Group, half our patients are 65 plus. No matter what insurance benefits you choose, make sure your Millennium primary care doctor is part of your plan and your connection to a healthier life. Millennium Physician Group. Connect today. 844 call MPG, millenniumphysician.com.
When it comes to weather forecasting here in Southwest Florida, accuracy matters.
Meteorologist Matt Devitt told you when this storm would hit.
Reliability matters.
Chief Meteorologist Matt Devitt is tracking this powerful storm.
Experience matters.
Just had a huge surge come in from the Atlantic.
Trust Matt Devitt.
Bring that umbrella. Look at all the rain.
Wink News Chief Meteorologist Matt Devitt. Weeknights on Wink News, the Weather Authority.
Next, Rachel.
Come on in.
Join the pack. 80s icon Andrew McCarthy.
He just said, Dad, you're really good and all, but that's the stupidest movie I've ever seen.
Spilling OMG stories of the OG Brat Pack.
We were making St. Elmo's Fire, and one night he invited me to dinner.
And his cult classics.
I love that you said that.
Plus,
Look at that.
a new pasta mashup.
Woo!
Next, Rachel.
Rachel Ray, this morning at 11 on WXCW.
Is your HR department struggling? Is payroll becoming unmanageable? What about insurance? When you track hours for dozens or perhaps even thousands of employees, Paycheck's all-in-one human resources, insurance, and payroll solutions can bring it all together. You'll have access to HR guidance, best practices, and employee tools. Get the insurance coverage you need to protect your company and competitive benefits for your employees with cost-sensitive health insurance, mobile access to HR analytics, training, and 50 years of expertise in payroll, HR, benefits, and insurance. Paychecks can help you stay up to date on changing regulations, get recommendations, and improve employee benefit options. Paycheck's suite of next-generation HR solutions can help fine-tune your operations and assist in taking your business to the next level. Sign up today for 1 month free at paychecks.com/future.
Insurance is sold and serviced by Paycheck Insurance Agency, Inc., 150 Sawgrass Drive, Rochester, New York, 14620. California license number 0C28207.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
239-479-5592. That's the talk and text line. Streaming live at a bunch of different locations, drewsteele.com. If you want to watch at the website, it's mobile friendly. That's the way we made it, so that you can watch on your smartphone, smart device. It's just a simple website, but it works really well. Yeah, we're still on Facebook if you want to go there as well, at Drew Steele Radio. That's, it is what it is. But people like to go and watch there, and that's fine for the time being. All right, let's do this right now before we get to some calls. Top 5 audio clips of the day. Here it is. It's the 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
How are you?
I'm Jeremy Diamond at the White House.
Is CNN still pushing an anti-Trump agenda like Charlie Tester said that they were?
Look what we did. We got Trump out. I am 100% going to say it. And I 100% believe it, that if it wasn't for CNN, I don't know that Trump would have got voted out.
Can you report anything that Jeff Zucker doesn't allow you to?
So there you go. Project Veritas doing it again, following one of the reporters, Jeremy Diamond, for CNN to their car there.
Breaking news.
A bombshell.
I'm sorry. And saying, hey, listen, CNN, the anti-Trump network, and how you're bragging about how if it wasn't for CNN, hey, listen, then Trump wouldn't have been, it could have been reelected if it wasn't for us bringing him down. Is that how you're doing all this? Are you going to admit to it finally? Listen, Project Veritas isn't going away, and neither are you. And when it comes to over and over and over again, how they've reacted to the former president of the United States. You come to see where the fake news lies and how the news organizations work, and why in the world would you try to side with or go against the former president only to have others that might join you on the wrong side of the aisle believing some of the things that you're talking about. That brings us to the next clip, doesn't it?
Number 4. Millions of Americans have been misled by the former president. They have heard only his words, but not the truth, as he continues to undermine our democratic process, sowing seeds of doubt about whether democracy really works at all.
Liz Cheney spoke truth to power, and now they're firing her.
So there's Chuck Schumer following Liz Cheney yesterday, who on the House floor, as Republican conference chairwoman, or a Wyoming Republican congresswoman, delivering a speech talking about this vote that's going to happen today to oust her as the conference chair. And her answer to the ousting was, Orange Man bad. And then Chuck Schumer going, see, even Liz Cheney said it. She said Orange Man bad. We agree that Orange Man bad. And look at what happens with the GOP. Now they're going to kick her out for doing it because she speaks truth to power. Here's an interesting concept. Maybe Liz Cheney should stop attacking the former president and dividing what it was what felt like a unified GOP under the former president, because we were winning and there was a lot of good things that were happening. Yeah, I know that people they don't get tired of. Until it stops. That Liz Cheney should maybe focus more on Democrats and the things that they're doing and what Joe Biden is doing, as opposed to going after the former president. But she won't, and she can't. And that's why maybe she needs to go.
Number 3.
Right about support sending money to the Wuhan Virology Institute.
We do not send money now to the Wuhan Virology
support
Institute.
Sending money. We did, under your tutelage. We were sending it through EcoHealth. It was a sub-agency and a sub-grant. Do you support the money from NIH that was going to the Wuhan Institute?
Let me explain to you why that was done. The SARS-CoV-1 originated in bats in China. It would have been irresponsible of us if we did not investigate the bat viruses and the serology to see who might have been infected.
Or perhaps it would be irresponsible to send it to the Chinese government that we may not be able to trust with this knowledge and with this incredibly dangerous viruses.
Yeah, there's Rand Paul once again going after the Fauci, who's always correct and you cannot doubt him, and what he says goes, and he is the end-all be-all. No, he's not. Who's saying, listen, when you have this issue that many people have been talking about that has to do with the gain of function, which is to get a virus, let's just say from a bat, and you bring it into a lab, and it's a wild virus. I mean, it came from a wild animal, so we can say that definitively. Well, it started there, but then you brought it in a gain of function, which means that you would manipulate it in a lab to be able to gain function of that virus. That's the meaning of it, and then you're sending money and supporting groups that are doing that kind of thing. That you believe are up to nefarious purposes. And then ultimately, it possibly escapes from a lab. Oh, boy, we got problems. The American people have some questions for the Fauci about that. Why is he backing away from that? Maybe he needs to address that a little more. Well, he'll just keep saying whatever he says. And whatever he says goes. Because you can't doubt the Fauci. Can't doubt the Fauci. That's a song.
Number 2.
There may or may not be the right rail cars. There may not or may not be the deep water ports available for the Jones Act to be able to respond. So this particular area of the country, this is why we have doubled down on ensuring that there's an ability to truck oil in, gas in. But it's the pipe is the best way to go, and so that's why.
Whoa. Wait a minute, let me get this straight. Energy Secretary, with a big, huge honking smile on her face yesterday, Jennifer Granholm, was telling people that, listen, when it comes to the issues of the Colonial Pipeline and the fuel that we may or may not be getting from Texas to the east coast of the country, and those problems that are arising from that, like long fuel lines and maybe even stations that don't have fuel and all the other things that are going on, diesel and jet fuel, and the problems that we could see there, and how we're going to get all of that fuel to the East Coast, that the best way to do it is by pipeline. And this is the same administration who said to the Keystone XL pipeline, yeah, not so much. And it even gets worse than that for the energy secretary. Oh, wait till you hear this.
Number one.
Hey, Mike, how are you? Good to see you. Spence, all of you.
Good to see you.
Janet, how are things up in Maine?
Great, Mr. President. Sorry, am I muted?
You're unmuted now. Hi, Tim. How are you? I know Minnesota's great, but it can't be as nice a weather as there is in Mexico now, is there? So, anyway, you all are nice to take the time.
Summer.
Yeah. Well, I'm just waiting for them to tell me when we get going here since we're live streaming this.
You're good.
Oh, ready to go? Okay. Well, first of all, hi, everybody. It's good. I'm supposed to look over here, not at you guys.
Yeah. You know that awkward moment when the president of the United States is having a conversation with governors and talking about socks and weather in Mexico and different things, and the governor's looking and not really quite sure why the president is asking all these kind of odd questions and off-topic questions and really not getting to the heart of the matter because it's been a live stream going on for 2 minutes and the president didn't even know it. 2 minutes, he's talking about socks and he's talking about the weather in Mexico, and just to find out that his people are like, Joe, you're on the air. You've been on for 2 minutes. Oh, God love you. I didn't know that.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Yeah, not a joke. So, yeah. Hey, speaking of not a joke, can I just mention this again that I think is a pretty important deal? I said this to you yesterday, and I mentioned this earlier on the program, and as many people have said, our friend Dan Bongino says many times, self-praise stinks. It's not a good thing. But listen, sometimes you like to just bring up a point or two that you had brought up in the past, and when something does come true or comes to fruition, you kind of look and say, hey, I kind of knew that was happening. And it's just really reinforcing the fact that maybe when you're doing this job that you're not always wrong. You might even say you're right all along. See what I did there? Yeah, well, I mentioned a couple of days ago that why would we trust an administration who was more than happy to shut down a pipeline, Keystone XL pipeline? Why would we even think that if they're willing to do that they would not see the Colonial Pipeline issue as an issue, or even as a crisis? Why would you let that crisis go to waste? Said one administration in the past. That guy. Why would you let it go to waste? And why would we believe you if you're telling us that you're doing your best to get this all solved? And well, guess what, everybody? Jennifer Granholm, the energy secretary, was more than happy to step up to a microphone yesterday with a smile on her face. I'm talking grin ear to ear. Some would say a eaten grin. And was more than happy to talk about this issue in ways that you and I are not talking about it. For example, when one roving reporter, by the way, roving reporter, can somebody find out where that, Jake, can you look up roving reporter, the origins of the words roving reporter? I mean, is that what reporters do? They rove, and if they're roving, that means that they're walking around, right? So you would think that, I guess, is that what they're doing at the White House press corps? They're like roving in the room, they're walking around, they're pacing back and forth, and should I ask this question? I'm not sure if I should ask this question. I think I've got a really good question. I think I have a really awful question. I think I'm going to ask the awful question. Listen to this one.
Obviously, we have the acute issues with the Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack, but looking more holistically in a macro view, how does this speed up the efforts at DOE to move in more of a renewable direction, since this is going to have an impact on people at the pump?
So the reporter asked about the holistic side of this 30,000-foot holistic issue. I mean, you guys are really trying to get away from fossil fuels. So is this speeding things up? Is this really helping that narrative out? What about that aspect of it? Now, Some might say that that was a really dumb question for a reporter to ask, because when we are in kind of like a little bit of a, I don't want to say crisis mode, but when you have fuel that is running out at some stations, we've already heard about it running out in certain places, and don't go running panic buying. Do not do that. Don't go panic buying fuel, because that will assuredly make the problem worse and assuredly will cause things to happen that don't need to happen. So let's not do that. But at the same time, man, this is this is good news, right? I mean, this helps to move the Biden agenda forward. I mean, the Green New Deal and the New Green Deal and whatever's green and whatever deal you can make that's green. And Bernie Sanders saying this is what you do.
This is what you do.
You know, Bernie.
What you do
is you have things like this that pop up that are a net positive, right? Now, here's a valuable lesson for you kids. I always like to teach the kids, the youths of America. We like to keep the youths well educated in this country. I think it's an important thing that we keep an eye on the youths.
Did you say youths?
I did. And it's this. If somebody were to ask you a question like that, when people are worried about fuel, when people are worried about when they're going to get the fuel, when people are worried about if they're going to be able to go to a job now after post-pandemic and get to that job, that if you are a politician, you step up to the mic and say, that is not a question that we should be talking about right now. The question should be about cybersecurity and the security of certain infrastructures that are critical to the advancement of this country, and making sure that fuel continues to stop unabated to areas that it needs to be so that we can get this economy going to make it stronger than ever, and blah, 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 blah. That's the answer. But of course, that would be the common sense, logical answer. Let's give it to a Biden administration official and see what she says about this opportunity that you don't want to miss from a crisis.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously are all in on making sure that we meet the president's goals of getting to 100% clean electricity by 2035.
Yes, we are, with this big smile, right?
And net zero carbon emissions by 2050.
Yeah.
And, if you drive an electric car, this would not be affecting you.
Yeah. If you fools, if you just had an electric car, you wouldn't even be affected by this. So that's all you had to do was get yourself an electric vehicle, you dope. You see?
Clearly, but it's another, that's clearly, but
clearly. That was awful. But that's what she did. And that's what this administration does. I might even say that's what Democrats do. Oh, you did it again, Drew. Why would you say something so hyperbolic? Why are you doing that? Why did you have to take that straight? Well, because you voted for 872 million people voted for Joe Biden to do exactly this. To bring people into an administration that are the antithesis of what people really do believe about what is best for the country. If I'm concerned about education in the country, and you're a Democrat, you know who to bring in. You're bringing in people that love critical race theory, that love teaching systemic racism, that love teaching how bad the country is and our founding fathers and the racist founding fathers. And those are the people that we want in education. When it comes to on the border, oh man, in the cabinet, we got to have somebody who certainly wants to have a pathway to citizenship and wants to have catch and release back again and wants to have people crossing that southern border unabated. Don't you even worry about, come on in. We'll figure out where to have you, and we'll get you health care, and we'll get you driver's licenses. We'll get you all kinds of stuff. And voting, you better believe it. When you bring somebody into an administration that is going to talk about the issues of our electric grid, of our pipelines and fuel and what we're going to do, you better believe if you're a Democrat, you're going to make sure that you're going to bring in somebody who's going to say to you, you bunch of fools, if you would have just went electric already, you wouldn't have this problem. And, it's just the way it is. And look, it's a little crunch. It's not a crisis. Don't you even worry about it. Even though we've come to admit that, hey, the best way to get the oil from one place to another is as a pipeline. Listen, we're not really fans of pipelines. Did you see what Joe did when he came into the administration? This is who you voted for. So please step back and stay out of our way when we have a concern about you as a Democrat voting for this individual. Because you knew that you were voting for these policies. You knew that this was going to happen sooner or later, that all of this was going to take place. And either you are for it or you're for it. That's really it. There really is no other way to do it. So Democrats, sit back and understand that. And elections do have consequences, you bet. So that's why we come back in 22 and 24. That's why locally we stand up to local politicians, local school boards, and we say enough is enough. And how horrific it is to have somebody in the energy department right now, an energy secretary, who's just laughing at this whole situation and thinks it's funny. And hey, we don't let this crisis go to waste. Outrageous. Some would say ghoulish. And they have. All right, let's find out how the remainder of the forecast is shaping up with Wink News meteorologist Brittany Van Forest.
Happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. Warm, muggy, and a few areas of fog this morning. Transitions to a hot, humid afternoon with areas of rain and thunderstorms, especially inland across Southwest Florida. One change I do want to note especially is with temperatures in the low to mid 90s and a little bit more humidity this afternoon. Our feels like temperatures will